It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us call am hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego politico, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. This one not the off in mind, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle so they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get it higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego the politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my ego, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my ego diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we not talk, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man.
Hello there.
Mayegun la wa mo to dodo. Mayegun la wa mo to dodo.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you. From wherever you are joining us tonight, it is Mayegun Live. Lady, Zion. Every one of you joining us, please take your time, read the caption of the broadcast, the description of the broadcast, share it, like it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today. YouTube. Tag all those people that they have used their head in exchange for a bucket of water. I want if you want back, especially those ones who stood for 8 years. I stand with Buhari. I stand with Buhari in poverty, in terrorism. Tell them, Mayegun today. all the recovered loots under Buhari, Muhammadu Buhari, were all returned to the looters. The man investigating them got suspended, arrested, and tried for forgery. And the thieves laughed. They laughed loud. Thank you, Motide. And it is also Sunday, so I can easily just say happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday to all of you. Depends on the time you are joining. Doesn't really matter. So thank you so much for joining me. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be another storytelling time. Because sometimes we need to tell it as a story, because all that the Nigerians have been subjected to in the last 9 years of APC, Al-Qaeda People's Congress, Akpayan People's Congress, or Akpanijaye People's Congress, in the last 9 years has been that of terror. They are subjected the people in Nigeria and the people outside Nigeria as well. Like, if you have any connection to Nigeria, don't tell yourself the lie. Yeah, some of you probably managed to survive them, but the last 9 years has been hell. They have monetized every problem facing Nigerians, most of them created by them. In 2015, strange bedfellows came together with the promise and pledges that they were going to save Nigeria through what they called change. A man who never really built anything, a man who has never really worked in his life, per se, was appointed to lead the team of those who were to rescue Nigeria. They said, oh, he's a frugal, he's a frugal man. He's somebody who doesn't like, he didn't steal money, but money kept missing. That was the time he was their president, though. The moment Buhari becomes their president, the promise was that all the thieves in Nigeria were going to run away or end up in jail. That was the promise. But a lot of us who knew very much, we know these guys. There is no amount of whitewashing, alagba force that they are going to hire that's going to make these guys clean from the, from the rot they have actually caused Nigeria. So how can people who destroyed Nigeria, enjoying the proceeds of that destruction, suddenly have a change of mind? They want to change Nigeria. It was a scam. People found out later. The man, the Maja that was supposed to be capturing, arresting thieves who looted Nigeria money to buy themselves properties abroad or hid the money somewhere abroad. The man that was supposed to use his anti-corruption lies, not only to stop stealing, but to recover all the stolen money from Nigeria and ensure that those who stole money from Nigeria are jailed. How could you do that? Or how was he going to do that? When they used the stolen money to sponsor his elections, when thieves who looted their different estates at different times were those who were funding his election and posturing the moral picture of Buhari and Pastor Ruga. Buhari was going to fight terrorism and corruption physically. Pastor Ruga was going to fight the terrorism and corruption spiritually. By the time the both of them were done, even Adeboye came and said, Nigeria problem is spiritual. Economy, insecurity, corruption, killings here and there. Adeboye had to come out and diagnose it as a spiritual after the tenure of the man that was supposed to defeat all principalities, all problems, spiritually. In case if you have forgotten, they made a poster for that. They dressed Buhari in army uniform and Pastor Ruga in pastor uniform. They were two that will combat Nigeria problems. People didn't know. They have just brought in the Nigeria problems. APC, Egbekegbe, they looted Nigeria. That some of the stories, if you hear them, if you hear the ridiculous amount of money they stole from Nigeria, when you hear the story, they are going to sound unbelievable. Is that possible? That's unbelievable. Under APC, listen, where they said Nigeria was under corruption, very corrupt, and uncorrupted criminals were to take over. Nigeria was losing 50,000 barrels of crude oil to oil thieves every day. Immediately, these criminals took over. The stealing of crude oil didn't stop. It just got upgraded. Nigeria started losing over 700,000 barrels of crude oil every day. 21 million barrels of crude oil every month. Hi. And we did a calculation, plus or minus, Nigeria lost over $300 billion if the stolen crude oil from Nigeria were to be sold at the market value and the money given to Nigeria. Nigeria will have over $300 billion in 8 years of Buhari. That was how much money that was stolen. To deceive the people they were still going to destroy, the people they eventually destroyed, right? To deceive them, Buhari appointed a special investigator to retrieve all the stolen money by the people by the PDP, the people destroying people of Nigeria. And that sounded like it was great. So the guy went to work. Sharply, it didn't take time before he started finding money. The money made from stolen crude oil, where it was kept. Others who used theirs to procure unneeded automobiles, latest bulletproof vehicles. In like 60 bulletproof vehicles were recovered from just one single individual. Billions of dollars, millions of dollars stolen. Where they went? Who stole them? Only for the guy to be suspended. And why? Let me give you an instances of how I have been exposing that on this platform. But so many of you during that time, you heard me. But like, you were not really bothered. It didn't really make much sense to you. I presented evidence, numerous evidence of their involvement in monetizing the supposed recovered loot. Let me give you one instance. There was this Abacha loot, and this was sometimes in 2016. In 2014, the Nigeria government, as well as the UK government, the Nigeria government, as well as the French government, making it the two, right? The Nigeria government and the American government, making it three. Now, you see this trio, they all had Abacha's loot in billions, okay? And then they agreed after years of back and forth. So they now agreed to return the money to Nigeria. The collection of all this money at that time was $2.5 billion under Buhari. But because of the political upheaval in Nigeria, listen to this, among the actions of the American government under Obama at the time, you remember that it was also the American government under Obama that stopped the sales of arms to Nigeria to combat the Boko Haram due to the petition submitted by Hittiman, then as a Borno State governor, and the collection of some of these northern governors who traveled to Washington in 2014 after this, Chibok girls problem then, right? The kidnapping of Chibok girls, right? So they went to America with a petition, and they petitioned the American government that Goodluck Egbere Jonathan was using the Nigerian army to kill northerners. All the weapons that Jonathan was buying from America, they were not to stop the Boko Haram. He was stockpiling the weapons for election, and Obama's government placed an arms embargo on Nigeria. That was the time the Boko Haram was really, really strong. Not only that, the embargo also stopped other countries from selling weapons to Nigeria. That was the time they were supposed to return that 2-point-something billion. They told America if that money should get into the hand of Jonathan, he was going to loot it. So America paid that they slowed down until after the elections. Immediately APC, Egbekegbe came in. Baba, all job done. Oh. Now just for Nigeria to say, pay the money to this account. That's all. So they stopped it. Among other many international gang up against Jonathan at the time, against Nigeria at the time, all because it was concluded Jonathan had to go. And APC, Egbekegbe, led by Buhari, is an American candidate, is the American government endorsed candidate that they believed would help Nigeria and America can work with. This is true story, but that is not the real what I wanted to hear. I'm just giving you this background for you to understand that. Immediately these guys came in, there was so much high hope from those who believed their lies. The government needed money. Oh, these PDP people have stolen all the money. They've looted Nigeria. So they needed money. Do you know the first thing that Malamu did? The Attorney General of Nigeria, Malamu, Abubakar Malamu. Do you know what the first thing he did? Inside the office of the Attorney General in Nigeria, there are special advisors. It is like a mini chamber because he is the more or less like the number one law political officer, the politically appointed number one law officers of Nigeria. You understand that is the number one, his office. So you have all kinds of lawyers. If you go to the Ministry of, what do you call it? Ministry of Justice. That is the office of Malamu. Inside that place, you have hundreds, I believe, if not thousands of different lawyers. Their job is to defend Nigeria. They are being paid monthly salaries. They are civil servants. They are lawyers. They are civil servants in that ministry. Paid for by Nigeria. You know what Malamu did? He went outside that space and he put together another team of his pals. They call them legal team that will now represent Nigeria in the negotiation on the return of the loot to Nigeria. And because they are privately hired by Nigeria, they are considered to be, like they are those who are coming to renegotiate. They are not negotiating anything. Everything was done. Now just for your lawyers, Nigeria, to sign and then sign and say the money has been paid to Nigeria, released. That's all. Malamu now made it look like they are just putting together a team that is helping to recover Nigeria loot. And this is the loot they have found. They will collect percentage, you. Therefore, when they return Abacha loot to Nigeria, Malamu was always there and his guys collecting 18%. Any money where they return to Nigeria, Malamu will collect 18%. Tell me how much was 18% of 2.5 billion. Under Buhari, the stolen money of Abacha returned to Nigeria was over $5 billion. Yes, you heard me right. In the 8 years of Buhari, over $5 billion of Abacha loot was returned to Nigeria. Right? That's just for first pass. I mean, that's like at the part one. Oh. You can go do the math. What is the 18% of $5 billion? That's how much Malamu made. On the side, the other part is that the man hired by Buhari to go and look for stolen money. He found stolen money. But instead of Nigeria to now go after the stolen money, Malamu just started cutting them deal. When the guy's wahala was too much, Malamu pushed that he must be suspended. In fact, there is a forgery allegation against him. ICPC must pick him up. That was how person where they discover thieves became somebody accused of being a thief too. And all of the returned loot from those people, they were returned back to those who stole the money. No wonder, every time you ask them, what have you done with the returned loot, recovered loot from the looters? They will tell you, it has been paid into the federation account. The money has been used for construction. Okay, now tell us, which of your road construction or any projects, the ones you borrowed money to start, the one that you are indebted to China, indebted to Saudi, indebted to almost everybody on earth. So which one did you build with recovered loot? Recovered loot, that's what this guy said. In one of these trending interview on Talking Point, I believe, Shewan Kimbaloye. Very interesting, right? Let's go there. And I will show you. Let's start with this.
How bad is corruption in the Nigerian government or in the Nigerian system?
Some of the things I recovered were returned back to, the people will recover those things from. For instance, there was this case of somebody will recover 80 S-Class Mercedes-Benz car, brand new, houses, farms, motorcycles, and so forth. In a house in Jabi, under information, we got intelligence, and we went there, we saw all those things. I wrote to the customs, the DG of customs, do these people pay custom duties on these vehicles? 80 brand new S-Class, armored plated. The CG of customs said no, they didn't pay. I wrote to Federal Inland Revenue Service. These people pay tax. If you are importing, if you have this kind of vehicles, if you have money to buy this kind of vehicles, you should pay enormous tax to the Nigerian government. They say no, they don't have any record of them paying tax. So we went to court. We got an order of official, and then the court asked us to, we should take custody of those things. It's interim for official pending the hearing of the case. So I did it. I did a memo to the Attorney General to brief him of what we were doing. But later on, the Attorney General said that all the cases are investigated. They never mandated me. One of them was, came through Panama Papers. You know about the Panama Papers? Mm-hmm. A Nigerian senator, former military governor, was mentioned that he has properties in offshore islands. Since I didn't have the structures to investigate this issue, which is overseas, I went to the DG, NIA, said, look, please, let us work together to do this investigation. And they did the investigation. They report was sent to me, I sent one to the president and I sent one to the attorney general that this man has over 200 million pounds in the offshore islands.
A former governor, a sitting senator.
He's no longer in the Senate.
No, at the time.
At that time, he was a sitting senator. But he had been president of the Nigerian Senate.
But nothing happened.
Not till today. What of the $69 billion? I got a letter, I didn't prompt them, from an American law firm saying that they have assets or access to a bank account in Texas that has over 69 billion US dollars. Proceeds from stolen crude oil. And the 9 billion, 69, the proceeds from the crude oil is 60 billion. The 9 billion is, they mentioned the name, Patrick Aziza, who was National Security Advisor. And I thought it was beyond me, so I wrote to the president that this is what this firm has, alleged. Yes. That they are asking for money, that if we make some payment available, that they will give us the holders of the account number, the bank accounts, and so forth and so on. So I went to the president and said, approve, so that we can recover this money. 69 billion, it's a lot of money. Of course, nothing came out of it.
Up to now.
I also did a letter to Attorney General to brief him. But do you know what he said? The day he saw my wife, he laughed in a very sarcastic manner. I think Obla claimed that he would recover 69 billion US dollars as he recovered the money. He was being sarcastic. How would I recover the money when you didn't act as the Attorney General? Somebody has said, look, we have 69 billion dollars of Nigerian money in a bank account in America.
And the government did not take action.
Nothing. Look, it's in the media. If you look at Punch published the story. Punch published this story. Even when Buhari was in office, they did. I think if I would download it and send it to you, nothing was done.
It feels like the government you work for was a failure in that respect.
I have said so, that I was disappointed, because I believe so much in the former president, and I worked passionately for him. But
would you attribute the underdevelopment of our country today to corruption?
Why not? Look, if you can, somebody can take $69 billion out of Nigeria. If we have $69 billion, our universities will change, our polytechnics, our secondary schools, we'll have water, and this is just a tip. That is just a tip of the iceberg.
There are so much more.
More.
How bad is corruption in the Nigerian government or in the Nigerian system?
Some of the things I recovered were...
Nigeria is so corrupt, which I regret.
That's just a tip. Indeed, like I said, when you hear some of these stories, you'll be like, this can't be true. Is this being exaggerated? That's somebody appointed by Buhari. He saw things firsthand. Probably one of those who believe truly that Buhari is not corrupt. People don't know that. The most of their corruption is just looking away. Yeah, inaction. They were cooking Nigerians. They were boiling Nigerians. Buhari was just baby boying on his own. Kilokon. In one of their scams that took place was stamp duty. Stamp duty. I want you to listen to this before I say my mind, because it's like a two-part anyway, right?
How bad? What happened with CBN?
There was this issue of stamp duties. Stamp duties. And some people have written, School of Banking Honors. It's an NGO in the banking sector. They had written a petition saying that the banks have recovered over 38 trillion over the years for stamp duties, and that this money had not been remitted. Okay? And they mentioned the former acting governor of the central bank. You know, when Emefiele was removed, an acting governor was appointed. That man was the chairman of, or the MD, the managing director of, they call it Nigerian something banking system. So that is a firm established by bankers in Nigeria, you know. So they mentioned him. And shortly after that, there was this announcement that he has been appointed deputy governor of the central bank. So I wrote a memo to informing President Buhari that how can you appoint as deputy governor somebody who we are investigating concerning stamp duties. So those were the two memos I gave to the ADC. So he kept it for 1 month. One evening, he called me. He said, Mr. Obla, please, I want to see you. So I went to the villa, and he handed over those two memos to me and said, oh, it's too hot. It's too hot. Go and investigate other cases. Leave this. So I left.
Were you disappointed then?
I was. Because I thought I had found somebody who could help
ally.
me. You know, yeah, because I know I was in trouble. There was so much pressure on me, you know. So, and things were not going on well. And I didn't have help from the government that appointed me. They had not given me what I had asked for. So I was emboldened when the president told me, okay, go and do your work. But on January 2019, I was in Calabar. I went because the president was coming to Calabar to campaign. My PA called me from my office in Abuja to say that there was a letter from the vice president's office saying that the panel should be suspended. Of course, I walked to the same ADC because they sent that mail, the letter, you know, through my WhatsApp and say, oh, this is what I have received. And say, oh, go and do your work. Of course, I didn't comply with the letter. I continued doing my work until August when I was suspended.
What happened?
Did you get that? Nigerians have been fraudulently sort of cheated that way. Okay, so the banks in Nigeria who are also in bed with the politicians, because politicians won't be able to move any stolen money through the system without the support of the banks. But behind the scene, the politicians also look away. Like in Nigeria, banks in Nigeria hardly give money, loan to an ordinary people in Nigeria without your connection this or connection that. So Nigerian banks are not giving loans. And most of the loans they give to these politicians, they are never repaid. They are always bad loans, right? But somehow, the banks in Nigeria continue to declare profit because there are some of them who are actually making a kill from illegal deductions. But since they are friends of the politicians and, you know, you scratch my back, I scratch your back, they could look away. So a body raised a petition to expose that over the years of banks in Nigeria, they have accumulated over 38 trillion naira that they deducted from all your, called stamp duty. And that money has never been remitted. How is that even possible? What is the central bank doing? Now, the person who was supposed to see to that, that was later found to actually be so neck deep in that corruption, is probably a multi-billionaire working in central bank. He doesn't have to steal money directly, but a corrupt system can easily earn him hundreds of billions of naira without doing anything at all, just by being in a position that could sway any policy and all of that, or just look away. He could become a multi-billionaire without doing anything. So he looked away. So the person that was fingered got promoted to the deputy governor of central bank. Then you approached supposed supervising minister. And then he look at you and it's like, this is too hot. You need to drop it. 38 trillion naira. Gone. In the banks of those who are wearing suits. Talking economics, telling you about how economics this, how this or that, on your screen, on your TV. Some of them are even doing charity. Criminals in suit. It is Nigeria. It is a crime scene. They got away with it. They did. And that's coming from somebody who worked with Buhari. They emptied Nigeria. They stole Nigeria. This guy looted like looting was going out of fashion. Then the entire system that is completely rigged, compromised, easy for the highest bidder. And Kolu was able to grab that. And guess who is the Minister of Budget and National Planning in Nigeria today? The former Abacha bagman. The person that helped Sonny Abacha to loot so much that nobody knows the exact amount of money they looted from Nigeria. Since Abacha died, more than $7 billion has been remitted and returned back to Nigeria. Also relooted by the living thieves. They recovered money from a dead thief, but his lieutenant and his foot soldiers who now kind of metamorphosed into patriotic Nigerians and the leaders of Nigeria. So they received the return loot. You collect money from the dead thief, you give it to the living thieves, and the cycle continues. And the people, they can always salivate, like some of you are salivating right now. 69 billion. Imagine the energy you take, column. Try it. Yeah, try it. Say it with that exclamation like 69 billion with question mark. Then you imagine what strength, how much strength you put into that. That's how heavy the money is. But it's gone. That's the money they have used to buy themselves private jets, buy themselves a senatorial seat, buy themselves government houses to loot more. Saraki was that former governor of Kwara State. That the investigation of this guy exposed that in one single account, offshore of Nigeria, over 200 million pounds sterling. What was Saraki's job? What was Saraki's business? What's the business of all these guys? The one that is the current Senate President of Nigeria, Akpabiole, stole over 107 billion naira. They made him minister under Buhari, the man that was supposed to be capturing thieves. It's a corruption case, dropped. 107 billion of Okoi Obono people, gone. Rather, he got promoted into a ministry that he was still going to access trillions, I swear. NDDC, Niger Delta, Ministry of Niger Delta. They can't put them on top. By the time Akpabiole was done, in just 3 years, they said that ministry alone have expended over 4 trillion naira. And if you go to Niger, it is similar to what this guy that want to dethrone the Sultan of Sokoto. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, just briefly, it's like a digression, okay? It is like this man is currently working to either the Sultan will accept reduced power or go totally. And the guy be this. What did he meet after 8 years of a Tambua? In his own words, so Sokoto State, after 24 years of democracy, 8 years of Tambua, to him, their governor, let him describe Sokoto State for you in 2 minutes.
Wasallallahu ala nabil karim. Thank you very much for this very important custom. And it has been very, very hectic. Very hectic in the sense that I took the mental leadership of Sokoto State without any working documents. When I say working document here, I mean there is no any handing over notes for me to work. I draw a line and start as a fresh. Many things are very, very bad. No potable drinking water in the States. And the little water which was formed into homes was raw water. What I mean by raw water, no treatment. In fact, it wasn't good for human consumption. No electricity throughout the state, including even the government house. No electricity. Township roads were totally neglected, which was everywhere. The city was very dirty. There were many unsightly things that you don't want to even see all over the city. And that unsighted thing is as a result of non-evacuation of refuse. Worker salaries were not paid as at one do. Workers were paid between 10th and 15th of the following month. These are just few examples of some of the ugly situations we have in West.
And today, the man that ruined the place for 8 years is a senator in Abuja, Tambuwa, representing the good people of Sokoto State in Abuja, where they are now working in tandem like all other thieves, congregated or retired, into that their chamber in Abuja. And the same characters are now those who are now making laws for Nigeria. They are now those who are also stamping the request that will further dip Nigerians into perpetual poverty. Borrowing and borrowing as long as they are getting their share. They got upgraded over there. I mean, they were discussing how to buy plane. When some of you are still you are yet to figure it out. How you are going to get to work tomorrow? Eh? While you are there thinking of, how am I going to get to work tomorrow? Your own lawmakers are busy, more concerned on how to buy 2 brand new planes. About they said it's going to cost Nigeria 171 billion naira to buy 2 planes. Others said no, it's about 400 billion. Whoa. Watch.
Is aware of the insinuation in some section of the media that Mr. President, in closing, I want to say that the Senate is aware of some insinuation in a section of the media to the extent that the President of the Senate, leading this Senate, either had at one time indicated that we had a request that the purchase of a new plane be approved for Mr. President, and that the President of the Senate had indicated that regardless of what Nigerians were going through, that would be approved. That was one. And the Senate is also aware that Mr. President tried to clarify this issue, that at no point did he say that. Then another section of the media picked on that again to say the President of the Senate, again leading the 10th Senate, has said whatever Mr. President likes, he should go and do. This Senate will not approve the purchase of a plane. And as we sat here today, a section of the social media had also been circulating that we had gone into an executive session to discuss about the presidential request for a new plane and how we're going to approve it. Mr. President, the essence of my saying this is just to make it clear and to alert Nigerians that there is the presence of a fifth columnist and some other propagandists who are doing everything possible to destabilize this country and also destabilize the parliament. Mr. President, I say for the record, as the leader of this Senate, that there is no request before this Senate as of yet. So there could not have even been a basis for us to debate whether we are going to approve or not. It had never been discussed either on the floor of this Senate or among individual senators or at the executive's closed session. There is no such request. If the request comes, it's not about Mr. President of the Senate alone. It's for 469 elected representatives of the Nigerian people to discuss and take a position. 360 in the House of Reps, 109 in the Senate. But as we speak, Mr. President, there is no such request. And I just want all of us to be clear about this. I thank you, Mr. President.
Well, it's not good for us to run the Senate by answering people in the social media. Because the social media is garbage in, garbage out. I was in Zanzibar attending to Inter-Parliamentary Union meetings when that information went out that the Senate President has said he will approve a brand new plan for the President, irrespective of whether there is suffering or no suffering. There was never a time such a statement came from me, because I've never had any correspondence to approve a plan or not to approve a plan. And I did not want to answer, but they went further to generate it, and then they went wrong as if I was saying that I did not care about the Nigerian people, I did not do this. We care about the President, we care about the Nigerian people. We will approve things that will benefit the Nigerian people. We will approve things that will improve the living standard of the people. At the same time, we will also take cognizance of the duties of Mr. President. If his vehicle is bad, we will repair the vehicle. If his plane is bad, we will approve money for the repair of the plane. So that is not an issue. There is nothing before us. I don't think you should bother about it. Somebody called me and said that he was quoting from BBC, that what I said in Senator Mongunu's house, that the statement was false and should be disregarded, that I was now saying that I will not approve. That is what you may call anticipatory blackmail. The purveyors of the story know very well that maybe there is problem with the presidential fleet, and that where they will go to will be the parliament. And so they are now trying to do anticipatory blackmail to tell us if they bring it, do not look into it. So I think that we should ignore them and focus on what we are doing here. I've read the president's correspondences to us. There was nothing touching on plan or no plan. But I can tell you that when you hear stories such as the death of the vice president of Malawi as a result of defective plan, and then you hear stories such as the death of the president of Iran as a result of defective craft. In fact, this time it was helicopter and all that. We shouldn't ever dream and allow such to be a portion. It won't be. The Senate is very responsible. The National Assembly is very responsible. We will look into issues that will benefit the governance of the country, irrespective of anticipatory blackmail. Get the words, anticipatory blackmail. They know very well that something like that may come in future, and if it's a necessity, the Senate will look into it. But there is nothing like that before us now. So they can go ahead, anticipate and blackmail the Senate President. It will not affect me. Minority Leader, you may wish to second, not what he said, but just second the motion that we adjourn for.
Nuisance lele.
Did you see how he kind of was like talking? Is addressing suppose said 200 million Nigerians. And to him, don't listen to them, don't listen to all these people. Social media is just garbage in, garbage out. Don't just ignore. They want to blackmail us. They know that if Tifnumbu's plane spoil, we will buy him a new one. If his car spoil, we will repair his car. That's why we are here. Let us just continue to do what we are doing. Don't mind them. You know, but maybe not all of them. Okay. So currently, Tifnumbu is operating concurrently 3 different budgets. 2023 budgets, 2023 supplementary budgets, 2024 budgets. And right now, Tifnumbu is asking for another 2024 supplementary budget. If you like saying that 2 budgets, you will not get sorry, 2 or 3 budgets you're going to get, you'll be getting every year now. There is one of them who kind of feel like, well, we need to say it. This is not right. Now, this honorable. Among them, among all of them.
Of the 2023 budget, it's also coming with an application for extension of the supplementary budget for 2023. We understand the implication. From the letter we received, it is mainly, in fact, only on capital projects. And we cannot ask that capital projects should be abandoned. We cannot also deny our country, which by implication means denying ourselves the benefits of capital projects. So, in principle, we might not oppose this. I might not oppose this in principle because I want these projects concluded. But in terms of procedure, I feel a little bit worried. A situation where we have 3 budgets running concurrently. And then we're also expecting, sincerely, a supplementary budget for 2024, which means that we have 4 budgets running in a country simultaneously. You will also recall that one of the major criticism against the PDP government was that we had no clear budgetary period, and so that we are returning to the era of January to December budget. But today, we are having not just 24 months, not just 12 months, but 24 months budget cycle. And so, whilst I would say that yes, it is in the interest of the country that these projects be concluded, but this process and procedure might not appear to be completely correct. In criticizing this, we will not just criticize, but profile an alternative, sir. And therefore, I will suggest that the House leader steps down this bill, and then we go back to the drawing board. Look at it, all the projects that are contained in 2023 budget and 2023 supplementary budget, we take them over to the 2024 supplementary budget so that we can have just 2 budgets running in the country. That way, we would have achieved everything that we intend to achieve. If we have all the capital projects in 2023 that is not concluded and 2024. That's my submission, sir.
I know somehow some of you who have been following the development in Kenya, you probably have been seeing the similarity between the politicians in Kenya and the politicians in Nigeria, the lawmakers in Kenya and the lawmakers in Nigeria, the Kenyans and Nigerians. Right. Some people felt right now in Nigeria, sure you get, why some people are still contemplating when the day of reckoning will be for these rogues. In Kenya, they've already taken their own politicians to the cleaners all over the country. Then their president, Ruto, that withdrew the controversial finance bill, but he's a politician, typical one, a liar, a very, very terrible one at that. He probably felt so slighted, belittled, his ego somehow bruised. So, on the one hand, is calling for unity, peace, and reconciliation. Let's sit down and talk. On another hand, is promising them revenge for those who had the audacity to stand up against the government. And because of that, the Kenyans who took to the street and said, he has to go. As a typical politician, so powerful. I'm powerful. I'm the president. I can see anything. Is doubling down. And as a typical Nigerian voluntary slaves, some of them are already getting tired for Kenya protests. Can you even imagine? You are inside the contraption called Nigeria, living through the hell, hoping that the Messiah, one Messiah will come from somewhere, I don't know. Or your sky daddy is coming to come and save you or whatever, I don't know. Then you started seeing people who are taking their destiny into their own hands, facing their fear. And they said they would rather die on their feet than to feed or survive on their knees. Nigerians don't they complain online that they overdo now. Is this not enough? Is that not enough? The man said he has withdrawn the bill. Why are they still protesting? Why are they still this or that? Look at them looting. Oh, they have started looting. That's what they want for Nigeria. That is why all these people, they want to bring revolution to Nigeria. God no go allow you. This is the prayer of the humbled slaves, sophisticated morons, the Buharidins, the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Denotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungoziaris, the Unekaharis, the humbled slaves, the sophisticated morons, including those ones who have now metamorphosed to what you have today, the Lagos Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, the bastards, the bat idiots, the Jaga addicts, the Jaga bandits, and the rest of them. That is their prayer. All of you who want to thinking revolution for Nigeria, you want to burn this country. God will not. We will defend Nigeria. We will Olori Bruku will not get food for Bele. Hungry sewage dweller that have access to his own Shinko imported phone, right? Is bragging. He's tired. He's possibly, distressed, looking at Kenyans, not giving up, not giving space, demanding that person wait on gun on them and kill them. He must also face ICC. I never actually knew that Ruto is an ICC wanted politician. I didn't know. I did know. I just didn't know that it is still active. Ruto has been involved in different kind of political upheaval and killings in Kenya. He is one of those wanted by the ICC. Now, the reason why Ruto could fly everywhere and align with the US and all this West and all of that is that they could protect him from whoever is going to arrest him if he landed in any wrong country. He is the president of Kenya. He was supposed to build a goodwill. Some people defended him against this ICC court in Hague. War crime, crime against humanity. All of that are coming out now. All of that. And guess what? The same Ruto who continues to use his own armed killers, who goes after into suburbs, threaten people, kidnap people on the road, on the street, and stuff like that. I think I even have a clip of one person kidnapped. This one is a politician, right? And the second video is that of how people have now started reacting, even to Ruto himself. Watch this one. I think it's this. A fellow politician that is believed is like Tifnumbu kidnapping, which Ireti, that FCT senator, because she's saying something. Then Tifnumbu or Wirewike just ordered that they should go and pick her up. That's exactly what is happening in this video.
Kama alikosa ndio walikuwa wanamfuata polepole. Alikuwa amekosa huyu. Alafu madam kada alikuwa amekosa.
Yeah. He went to a few places he's been to. That's how he's been mobbed. Ruto, in Kenya, you killed Kenyans. Ruto, you killed Kenyans. On top the bill that you are still going to withdraw. You probably knew you were going to withdraw the bill, but you probably felt like maybe if you kill few of them and chase them out of the streets, they will stop asking, and then you can just sign it, and everybody will just have to go and live with it. To a typical on-board slaves, voluntary slave from Nigeria, they don't do too much. Instead of, don't destroy your country. Instead of you to sit down, the president said he wants to talk to you. What do you want to tell them? What is he going to tell those killed? They said they don't want him anymore. And it is actually like a unanimous. So the guy said, I do not have any blood on my hand. People said I have blood on my, but I don't.
I have no blood on my hands. 19 people, to the record that I have from the security agencies, are dead.
That is a madman. Okay? He said he had a report that only 19 people have been killed. And their blood, they are not on his hands. Ruto.
I have no blood on my hands. 19 people, to the record that I have from the security agencies, are dead. Very unfortunate. As a democracy, that should not be part of our conversation. 2.4 billion of property has been destroyed. The office of the Chief Justice has been burnt. City Hall has been burnt. Parliament has been burnt. That is the situation.
Let's turn lives. Let's turn lives, Your Excellency.
19
let's
people
turn lives,
dead.
Your Excellency.
We have 9.
Did you see his reaction when he spoke about the 19 people dead? And he said, that is not part of our conversation or part of our discussion. Then 2.5 billion worth of properties have been vandalized, looted. His countenance changed right away. His face stiffed up. But as a politician, he kind of wanted to try to I'll show you, watch it again. That's what I want you to see. A mean, cold-hearted rogue. And I want to see how far, who is going to shift first between him and these young people in Kenya.
I have no blood on my hands. 19 people, to the record that I have from the security agencies, are dead. Very unfortunate. As a democracy, that should not be part of our conversation. 2.4 billion of property has been destroyed. The office of the Chief Justice has been burnt. City Hall has been burnt. Parliament has been burnt. That is the situation.
Let's turn lives. Let's turn lives.
19 people dead.
And while speaking to church leaders that agreed to meet with him, he needed the church to preach to the people and say they should calm down, they should forgive him, they should listen to him. And in fact, there are already some churches, young people from some churches in in Kenya, who have accepted that, well, he should extend the invitation to them. They would like to represent their own area and church at that meeting. While others are like, we're not sitting with you. There's not going to be any dialogue. Forget it. Ruto was still threatening Kenyans while speaking to the church leaders that he wanted to actually use in the long run to placate the country. Listen to this.
Na niwaombe hawa vijana wetu tuwaongeleshe. Hawana makosa, ni kukosa namna. Lakini as parents, as leaders, as church leaders, as political leaders, mimi na huyu wa Bombi, sote tuungane, tuongelesha hawa vijana, tupange vizuri, ili waelewe we have a plan for them. Na mimi silaumu vijana wa Kenya. And nilisema ya kwamba hawa vijana wamefanya vizuri. Wamekuja, wamesema, tuko na maneno yetu hapa. Na walikuwa wanafanya hivyo kwa utaratibu na amani. Na walikuwa wanafanya hivyo bila ya kuchanganya na mambo ya ukabila, which is very positive. Lakini ndani ya hapo wakaingiliwa na watu wengine. Wale waliochoma bunge sio hawa watoto. Si ndio? Sio watoto hawa wetu. Wale walienda kuchoma bunge ni criminals ambao tutawatafuta. Hawawezi kuhepa. Kwa sababu huwezi kuharibu mali ya umma. Tutaongea na vijana wetu. Tuko na mpango ya vijana wetu. Lakini wahalifu, wakora na hawa criminals pia tutawashughulikia. Kulingana na sheria. Hakuna vile mtu anaweza kwenda kuharibu biashara ya mwingine. Kuharibu biashara ya mwingine, kuvunja mali ya umma, kuharibu biashara, kuharibu manyumba ya serikali, kwenda kuchoma CDF office, kwenda kuchoma sijui nini. Hiyo itatusaidia na mambo yetu ya kusuluhisha matatizo ya vijana kwa njia gani. So we must separate the issues our young people are raising and the criminality of those who are looting people's shops, destroying public property. These are very separate issues and we must deal with them as they are.
And that's all he needs. All of you that invaded the Supreme Court, invaded the parliament, invaded government buildings, in what you call your protest, you are criminals. And you will receive the Sharia. You will be dealt with. We will deal with them. So it considers, right, the breaking into the parliament as a sacrilege that everyone who is part of that, and these are the young people who, in their protests, right, pushed straight into the parliament to stop them from passing a bill that will put all of them in perpetual poverty. and they will be punished for it according to Ruto. So to them, one, you need to release everyone that you have locked up first. If you want to have a dialogue, a chat, you need to call back all your police and then other secret police that are killing people, kidnapping them from the suburb. And when we see all of this, right, then you write your resignation letter. And that's what we are going to be sitting together to read. You will read it to us. That's the only meeting they want to have with him. So today, it has been, all over the country, it has been hectic. I'm not going to give you much of the videos from that, okay? Let's go back to Nigeria. Right? On our way to Nigeria, we saw a guy caught by the NDLEA. Agbalagba Tungbe cocaine.
My name is Aikomodane, A.K. Oladako Oladewaju. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. Total. 90.
90 wrap of cocaine. And the way they wrapped it is to be ingested. Let us be honest. That man is just a carrier. Abi? All of that 90 wraps. I don't know the story you have heard about drug trafficking, cocaine. But do you think all of that wrap of cocaine on the table, 90 wraps, can make that man a multimillionaire? Because I remember, this is me now again, trying to preach to those of you who are going to blame poverty or blame other things, financial problem, Nigeria situation, or the devil for why you are allowing yourself to be used as a drug mule. You will never be rich, ever. And if you are caught, your life is done for. Do you think that wrap of cocaine, wrap like that, even if the guy is not a courier, like a carrier, let's say he wants to go and sell it in the UK, and then it can just come to the UK, 90 wraps of cocaine, and then do you think that is going to make him a billionaire? Or he has to keep doing it and keep doing it, keep carrying 90 wrap, 100 wrap, or until when he can be able to carry a container? Then imagine you that is just a courier. You are not even the owner of the drug. Somebody convinced you at your age, we have a job for you, we'll give you 5 million naira. You had 5 million naira. And they say it's just to go to Dubai, it's just to go to this, it's just to go to that. Drug pushing. Like, if you want push drug, you're supposed to go watch the drug cartel movie. Get container. Be creative. Something that if one batch of your shipment land, it is either it's going to attract CIA or anybody that will be looking for you. But you know that it's going to be some amount of money that can actually keep you away from those looking for you. 90 rapu. Poverty no look for any. So those of you who are so lucky enough that you are caught in Nigeria, you don't know what God do for you. That's your sky daddy. Oh, save when you. If you carry cocaine, if you are carrying drug as a drug mule for all these drug pushers, drug dealers, see poverty to enter Nigeria, naked poverty, they work out for road for Nigeria. A lot of people are living the fake life. To maintain it, they are the easy recruits for all kinds of crime and criminal underworld. You will be recruited into human trafficking, organ trafficking, drug trafficking, because you are looking for a way out. You want to get away from what Nigeria they do to you right now. Drug, crime. So you will be lucky if to say na China, then catch that egbon, I will learn yeah. May in family members, everybody made them forget say that this kind of person ever existed in their family. So why would you? I mean, I don't understand. Not the devil. Oh, now my friend deceived me. Short dead near me. The one day say me you swallow cocaine inside the hotel to go to Saudi, swallow cocaine to go to Singapore. Short dead near me. You are just a courier. You are just a carrier, right? They go pay you. If single one burst inside you, you are just one undelivered parcel. You are just a parcel. Anyway, assume how they say my own, and at the end of the day, we're talking about the insecurity in Nigeria, as well as the inaction of the rogues inside the contraption. This is what will be said when he called for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as well as other people illegally detained in Nigeria, in places where the court has even granted or gave order, and such judgments have been ignored. Now, let's put the face behind those words, as he said those words, the insecurity in Nigeria. I'll start from here.
The first primary work of government is security of life and property. It is the foundation in which people can actually live in a nation, because nobody can stay in an insecure place. And it is worrisome what is happening in Nigeria, waking up every day with killings, kidnappings, abductions, and everywhere, which has now made Nigeria one of the most insecure places on the surface of the earth. In fact, it's leading to a failed nation. And that requires an urgent attention of everybody. In the Southeast in particular, again, that is the same situation. As I thank the government for their effort, there's need to do more by all leaders to ensure that we tackle this menace. In the Southeast, I urge the various governments, members, I said, while thanking them, to come together as a family. There's need for the governors of the Southeast to work as a family, to be able to tackle that. I'm saying that from the little experience I had when we were there. It is important. And even checking the harsh economic conditions now, even in development and economic agenda, I want to see the Southeast governors work closely more as one, because they can do. And I believe they know each other, they can interact. We want to see them come together. We want to see them bring this entire zone together. And I'm preaching the same thing of other zones. While the federal government as far that overshadows everybody, the various things should come together. In the Southeast in particular, it is very urgent. I'm again saying from my little experience, in which they can call meetings, even meetings at times of those of us who were there before, to come together and interact about a common purpose. This is very important. I don't see anything why his continued detention, quite frankly. Especially as the law, the courts have granted him bail. Government must obey the law. rule of law is an intrinsic asset that we must cherish and live with. And I've said I'm going to discuss with every agitator. And I use the same opportunity to play to government to ensure that all those who are in similar conditions are released and discussed with. We're a democratic government. We shouldn't be doing things that are arbitrary and not within the law. I'm against riots. I'm against destruction of government assets. I'm not against peaceful protest. But it must be for reasons, not for interest. Often a time here you see protests being to satisfy a particular interest. It must be properly articulated. There's things that is happening that is against and properly directed. Properly articulated and properly directed. So you don't go. I recall when people were saying they're protesting against police or any other organization of government, and I said to them, no, let's deal with the leadership. If we have good leadership, their agents can be bad. But what happens here is that Nigerians say, oh, our problem is police. Our problem is EFCC. Our problem is ICPC. Our problem is the army. No. The problem is the leadership. If the leadership is, if the leaders are competent, have the capacity, doing the right thing, their agents will toe in the line. And that is what I want. I want to see these things that are properly organized. I want to see people listening. And I'm using the same opportunity to say, all those who are being held because of, say, NSAS, protests and everything, or because of freedom of speech or journalists, should please be released immediately. We're a democratic country. People have a right under the Constitution to express themselves freely under freedom of speech. They have also rights to peacefully protest. And we must listen to them. We must listen to those who say they are not happy. That's why it is a democratic nation. We should stop acting dictatorial and behaving as if it is not a democratic country. I know we're in a state capture, but then we should act in a manner that shows some decency. We politicians are preoccupied by election. That's not what I'm talking about. How do we reduce the price of food? Our people are dying of hunger. How do we make life conducive for the poor Nigerians? How do we make sure that people earn more money in order to live? How do we pull people out of poverty? That should be our concern, not forming mega party or this thing. If forming mega party is to be able to provide what I'm saying now, I'm all for it. If it is about state capture so we can start continuing the same consumption, no. But if it's to move it to production.
Count me in his own branded line. I don't need to add much more, but this is how criminal politicians, especially this APC, this is how they kind of like play the people, right? I'm taking you to Kaduna. There's a reason. Because right now, El-Rufai is suspected to be their joker card before the real other joker card. So right now, they are trying to build a sort of a strong ring around El-Rufai because they believe that whatever the Kaduna state is doing to him, they are not just doing it. They are doing it from Abuja. Now take a look at this. When the current governor of Kaduna was kind of announced as the next governor, and El-Rufai was to hand over to him. So in a statement back then, typical politician, there's a reason, watch this. It's just a year ago.
My advice to all of us is that when we were in FCT with Malam, I remember when he was leaving, 2007, he gathered all of us, just like we're talking to each other right now. Unfortunately, few months after, things changed completely. Some people that we thought they were our friends conspire to make sure that they send him out of the government, not only the government, out of the country, through blackmail, witch hunt, and persecution. Unfortunately, they were almost succeeding because they have to conspire with the people that were working with us at that time, our so-called friends. Those that Marlon single-handedly got them appointed, not in FCT, but even within the presidency. So that is why sometimes I'm not always excited when I happen to find myself, because Marlon destiny, I kept telling him, he's someone that has a very complicated destiny, helping everyone, but sometimes people abandon him. And that is the reason why most times I keep telling them, whenever I find myself addressing the public, I kept telling them, look, please, we have to understand that Malay is someone, I've never sat with him for a day since I've met him, trying to, looking for a way to buy a house or to buy a car or to do something for himself or his family, but doing for every other person. So that's why the other day I was telling he is generous to everyone, but not to himself. And I always pray, and I want all of us to pray, that all of us that have worked with Malay and benefit from him, we should remain faithful to him, remain loyal to him, and we should always strive to protect him, because we know the truth. We know who he is. Nobody can tell the story except those that work with him. That is my advice. Lastly, I can say that I'm a very lucky person, because although Marlon kept saying he's not going to come to Kaduna, he's not. That's why I give an example of my investment in Dubai, where I forced him to go and borrow money. I have no doubt in my mind I will also force Marlon to come and help me, because Marlon, more than anyone in this country, not in Kaduna State, wants me to succeed more than anyone. And if anyone thinks he lost me or wants me to succeed more than Marlon, the person is just a joker. That is the fact. Finally, I thank you very much, and I wish you good luck. Thank you very much.
One moment later. Okay, not 1 moment later. 8 months later. Oh, I wish I had that sound. You know, that would have like a moment later.
Despite the huge body of about $587 million, 85 billion naira, and 115 contractual liability sadly inherited from the previous administration, we remain resolute in steering Kaduna State towards progress, sustainable development. We have conducted a thorough assessment of our situation and are sharpening our focus accordingly. It gladdens my heart to inform you that despite the huge inherited debt on the state, till date, we have not borrowed a single kobo. The key priority areas of our government include safety and security, housing, education, healthcare, support for micro, small, and medium enterprises, We are also prioritizing inclusive development by investing in human capital, stimulating the economy and providing affordable houses, as well as support for our farmers, particularly smallholder farmers. Let me briefly highlight some of our ongoing initiatives for 2024. Safety and security. One of the primary responsibilities of any government is the security of lives and properties of its citizens.
I will spare you the rest. My time is actually really going. And I want to take calls tonight. So that was him there talking about how El-Rufai, that's El-Rufai, okay, the Kaduna little finger, who stole over 400 billion. And now Kaduna State government is, Kaduna State House of Assembly is investigating him, courtesy his power. Yeah, I saw that too. Did you hear where he said he had the investment in Dubai and he had to make the Malam to go to Dubai to go and help him with his investment? Malam never asked anything for his family or himself except for people and for people. So now 425 billion naira, to the point that Kaduna is now bankrupt. That motherfucker, right, actually told his listeners there that he hasn't borrowed a dime. So he's been using his money to run Kaduna. Lies. So El-Rufai left Kaduna so disjointed. The entire southern part of Kaduna is a terror zone sponsored by him, the governor of the state. He left Kaduna so broke that the lenders who gave him all the money he stole, they're actually deducting over 5 billion naira from the allocation to Kaduna State every month. And once they remove the 5 billion, Natasha remain. So what El-Rufai is now telling everyone is that he invested the money. Like Peter Obi, he go pay off later. That he used the money to consult people to help him tell the whole world that they should come and invest in Kaduna. And all of that work, they are still there. Sonny should work with that idea that he used the money to buy. So then, bring the investor in. He said his own idea. He invested in idea of how to make Kaduna the greatest bagba, the greatest bubu. But Kaduna is bankrupt.
The great youth of Nigeria. Great. 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 Greatest, greatest, yo. The great youth of Nigeria. Great. 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 Greatest, yo. The great.
Yo. So the greatest Bagba, the greatest Bobo, the greatest Kaduna, Sonny said it's not great again. Oh, not basic Kaduna. But El-Rufai, who is now under probe, is doing everything to force the Kaduna State House of Assembly to drop all this investigation. How dare you? Now they are building that profile. Even though the profile or the whole force they are building around El-Rufai is now being disguised as the defense of northern Nigeria. All of you Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, don't forget my advice. A lot of you have spent a lot of time and energy and resources, right, on hating on the Igbos because your slave masters told you to be like that. But you remember I told you that after the 2023 charade, the real people that are going to deal with you, the ones that are going to become your main one, the ones that you probably will hate more, they are going to be this Sharia North. I don't hear them since already. I don't hear them already. And I hear some of you are telling yourselves, they made it a joke. Especially when I remind you that Nigeria is a place where Tinubu cannot be removed by election. So you believe me because you think it's going to be by election, Abi. By the time the day of your election come, when these guys are done, well, Shebi bomb don't they explode now? 4 bombs yesterday. 2 don't explode today again. Have you seen the news? Breaking news about 2 hours ago. Yeah, another bomb don't explode. Here you get. This is them now building around that. For the first time, you're going to see them now say Nigeria is unsafe under Tifnumbu. And if you are in doubt, then you go see Iwo Eri Terror. For real. Well, I would love to see Tifnumbu probably go after all these guys. Use that power. Arrest all of them. Let's see what thing go happen. As for Nigerians, whatever the shege you are witnessing today, your situation is not even on the table of discussion right now. You know that. Or you don't. It's okay. Here is one fellow Nigerian who wants us to actually understand the context of what it is like to live in that contraption as we speak. From the horse's mouth.
It's a good country.
I say what? Nigeria is condemned. Condemned.
Yes.
Why are you saying Nigeria is condemned?
Because if it's condemned, we can manage it. We cannot manage this situation now. If Garo can go for 500 naira, water don't pass Garo. And some people are using SUV, bulletproof, imported from Japan, 450 million. 250 million our senators. Why should they pass a bill for whomsoever that carry drugs should be sentenced to death? Why they not pass a bill? Any senator with steal public funds should be hanged. If they want justice and they are fair to this country, why wouldn't they pass the thing? Mr. President won't buy private jet. Buhari, did he buy private jet? We have 2 presidential jets. Why he won't go buy another one? He won't give his son Sheyi a private jet so that he go there like Davido. Yacht where they buy. Tell me what in the yacht contributed in Nigeria. Who is using the yacht? Does me and you use that yacht? Did that yacht convert anybody from Lagos to anywhere? Now in son they use the yacht, they do party with our shower girls. A useless country, a zoo country. We have oil, we import oil. Is it not madness? If Dangote alone can build a refinery and the Nigeria of a giant of Africa, we cannot revive our refinery. Are we not fools? It's better they give Dangote the president of this country now because he don't overpower everybody. Jagaban, he no build refinery. Now drug would they take? Kwaya. Everybody take kwaya. Now drug everywhere. We can't afford to buy beer. Beer now 1,000. Kwaya na 600, 500. So people go on kwaya. Our youth, the future of Nigeria is condemned. We don't have any future again. How much is school fees? Everybody takes his son to private school. How much do they pay? How many people can pay for the private school? Government school every day, tomorrow strike. This month alone now, how many weeks civil servants don't go work? And they will receive salary. They say 250,000 is too much for minimum wage. Only 250,000 is a chicken change. How much is a bag of rice? 62. And they say 62. They could clap hand for them. Governor say they cannot pay it. If you can't pay it, you step down. Other governors will pay it. People they have idea, agenda to move Nigeria forward, they will pay. So if you don't have any fucking common sense in your brain, you step down. Say Nigeria, you can't pay 62,000. Look at who are they fooling? How much their children spend to do the rime in London? How much do they spend to fly to London? How much is London ticket? Their children will go to London to snap picture and come back and spend 10 million, 20 million. Then somebody will spend 30 days going to work, 26 days going to work. At the end of the day, go give them 60,000, I be 30,000 naira. And the bag of rice is going for almost 100,000. An aburo on the street cannot even afford garo. Garo now, white rice with yaj and granite oil on top. No meat inside. It's 500. And you are telling me that these people who voted for are doing well. They are doing rubbish. Now, how much did they spend to have a sitting to change national anthem in the first place? How much did they spend for their sitting? Each sitting that those useless fools, coward senators where we vote, they sit. How much did they pay them for a sitting? And all they feel that is our problem is to change national anthem. Carry Oyibo on, give us. Me, I no go sing am. I know if I sing am, make I die. I know Arise to Compatran, Nigeria's Kolobe, Bokom, any other one I know there. The Oyibo own, I can never sing it. I cannot borrow a culture where I don't know. How long will we use our sense, create something by ourselves? They will make the money from here, take it to abroad, they will collect it. The same Oyibo go borrow us the money with interest. Who is fooling who? When they borrow us the money, they will still share the money again, return it back to them again. The Britain they are talking about, what do they have? Did they have any mineral resources? We are over fucking blessed. What we have, they don't have it. Europe no get 1/4 of what Nigeria have. Boko Haram exists today is because of mineral we have. If not because of mineral Nigeria have, Boko Haram could have not been existing. In Medugri, America, they mine the uranium where they there. The same uranium they in Nasarawa State here, they buy it, then the miner, Chinese, the miner, they sell it. A gram of it is $37,000 per gram. Only the uranium alone, Nigeria can survive and survive the whole Africa as a nation. Nigeria remains the giant and we are the giant, but we are full of giants. Now full people full the country. Allah. Look at Yabel, a young small boy. The answer white lion, white waiting. Waiting create for Kogi. Dino Melai now. It's a good country.
I say what? Nigeria is
condemned.
What shall I say unto the Lord?
Yes, Lord.
All I have to say.
Thank you, Lord. What shall I say? Thank you, Lord.
Shehu Sani has responded, or let's say Shehu Sani has replied with a wiki. And then the new recruits of Kolu is there to remind Wike that if somebody like himself didn't go to jail, Wike will never be local government chairman.
Okay, distinguished, I have to ask you because you're a voice. You've been a senator and all of that, so it's important we get your view to get the pulse of the area, not just in the realm of speculation. But I can't let you go without asking you what played out at the event a few days ago when Nyesom Wike came. I was very straight with you and Michael Zekome, the senior advocate of Nigeria. In fact, by paraphrasing what he said, your presence in the Senate, how much significance did it make in making Nigeria better? I don't know whether I had a chance to respond to him because you had talked about the fact that Abdulsalami Abubakar had called the rights activists who fought to restore democracy to say, come take power like the ANC did in South Africa, who are still at the reins of power. You refuse and you look back and say that was a big mistake. Do you have a reply to FCT Minister Nyesom Wike?
Wike is my good friend. I would have preferred to reply him in an event rather than on TV. And I think I have attended 2 events where he strategically placed himself to speak last and make sure that nobody replies him. And I believe that when an opportunity comes next, I'm going to take him on. But nobody can demean the struggle which we did to free Nigeria from military dictatorship. Michael Zekome was a patriot. If not for the struggle we did to disestablish a military dictatorship and restore democracy of Nigeria, people like Wike couldn't have become a local government chairman, a governor, or a minister today. He's a beneficiary of our struggle, the sweat and all that we have invested in it. And at a certain time, I was in Port Harcourt prison, and which serving a prison term as a political prisoner. And where was he at that very time? But I think What he said, though people have overblew it, what he said is that there is no, they are against in democracy. It's not only about condemnation and criticisms. And in my own case, he say, what is it? It's about what have we done in the Senate. It wasn't specific. He was talking in general terms. So I can't take that personally. But I will say that he is a beneficiary of the struggle which Nigerians have committed and dedicated their life to. And I hope he will understand. But I believe that next time we go to an event, since I know his formula of speaking last and then closing the chapter and everyone should go, it will never happen. He will certainly get a reply. You know me very well that I don't hold prisoners. And it's even later I learned that we are age mate. But I believe that he will get the next reply next time he tries.
Now, them. And I think I also found that the extended video of where Ruto said 19 people died and others. That video I showed you earlier. So it was about a 12-year-old boy that was shot 7 times. So they were having the media presidential media charts over the incident in Kenya, where Ruto is expected to kind of answer some questions. So he was asked this, then his response. Listen.
Mr. President, this boy, 12-year-old, took 8 bullets into the body of a 12-year-old boy. What would you tell the mother of that boy?
That boy is alive, right?
No, it's not.
Kennedy Onyango died.
He's died.
So he's the one who died?
Yes.
So you're not talking about the person who was shot with rubber bullets?
No.
No.
Yeah?
Shot with bullets 8 times.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
In Ngong, this is the situation in Ngong, right? In Ngong, there was an incident where the police were overpowered by criminals. They took firearm from the police. They used that firearm against people. And one policeman had to shoot this fellow who had hijacked a gun from a policeman so that not to endanger the lives of more citizens. It is among the 3 people. One of the criminals is among the 3 people who was shot by the police after they overpowered the police and took the bullet and took the gun from the police and used it against innocent citizens. I cannot confirm to you that this is not the man that shot the child, but investigations are going on and we will get to the bottom of it.
Mr. President,
I am telling the mother of this young person that I, as president, will make sure that finally I will give her an explanation of what really happened and make sure that we bring this to a situation where, like her, like myself who have children, she too her child can be accounted for.
Mr. President, the Kenyan National News
Man, you know, sometimes, right? You know me, I'm always everywhere, right? Sometimes when I listen to this guy these days, I just feel like, what happened to him? Now, some of you may not know this guy, okay? Some of you may not even know about him this much until probably a few weeks ago or a few days ago. But there are many people who actually followed African politics, like myself. Man, like his first reaction to a 12-year-old shot 8 times was, did he die? Did the boy die? Yes. Even the whole room was like, they shot a 12-year-old boy. Then he decided to make up story. President of a country is trying to make up story to defend the killing of 12-year-old boy. Shot 8 times or more, even Kenyans, right? They probably are just going to be like, that's the cold-hearted Ruto, the same one that made this statement earlier.
I have no blood on my hands. 19 people, to the record that I have from the security agencies, are dead. Very unfortunate. As a democracy, that should not be part of our conversation. 2.4 billion of property has been destroyed. The office of the Chief Justice has been burnt. City Hall has been burnt. Parliament has been burnt. That is the situation.
Let's turn lives. Let's turn lives, Your Excellency.
19
let's
people
turn lives,
dead.
Your Excellency.
We have 19
I said
people
24.
Dead.
How did he even come about the 2.4 billion property destroyed? Like, how did he even come by that within just few days? How did he, within 2 days, how did he know? How did their government quickly, how did they do their investigation, right? And they came by that figure, that the properties destroyed or the shops looted, everything is worth 2.4 billion. That's how you get to know that he is a criminal, making up things to justify the killings of his own people because he wanted to defend the policy handed over to him by his own puppet masters. He hasn't learned anything. And the Kenyan Gen Z, they told him, you will not believe it. You will not believe it. He will not believe it. In Nigeria, during the NSAS, you were using Sorosoke. Ogbeni, speak up. Sorosoke. Open your voice, Sorosoke Wiri. In Kenya, their slogan is, you will not believe it. He will not believe it. You will not believe it. You will not believe what is going to happen. So if a bird learns how to fly without perching, the hunter will learn how to shoot without missing. It is a showdown in Kenya. And this is just a part of it. Every day now, Ruto must go there saying,
Holiday.
Tuesday, holiday, Tuesday, holiday. Keep it holy. Tuesday, holiday. Every Tuesday. Tomorrow is another day. And that's where we're going to draw the curtains now. So I've had my shot if I should continue, right? I'm not going to take calls, right? So I want to. And the line is also going to be opened. Just in the next few minutes. I'll go try if I do refill. And if I can't, I'll be back in a minute or two. So, right? Thank you so much. If you have to leave because you're going to work tomorrow, right? At least like the broadcast, okay? Like it, share it. And then you can join us again tomorrow. But if you're still here and you want to, grab your phone and I will be back. tea. I couldn't get my kettle up, so I'm just gonna drink the leftover of my tea. And you can buy me coffee too. Yeah, that's how you support my platform, especially those always asking, how can we support you? That's how you can. I'm gonna go get the link and give it to you. Okay, you could support my platform through many means, as you wish. I have a caller, so let's get to it now. Hello. Or did I just miss it? Okay, I think I lost that caller. Sorry about that. So let me reopen it so that it's easier for everyone to get through now. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, hello.
Hello, Baba.
Air Force One.
Baba, how you do?
I am very well. Oh, happy Sunday. How are you?
Yes, sir. Same to you, man. Very well done job. You did a very good job, sir.
Thank you.
So let me go to Kenya. So Ruto left Kenya to go to IMF, and which other bank again? I think World Bank, right? He left Kenya to go to that place and borrow money, to the detriment of the welfare of his own citizens. And you put them through all this turmoil till they start killing people. Now you stood up after you. So, huh?
I'm with you, Baba.
What did you say?
No, I said they're trying to force it on them to take it.
Yeah, so is this kind of a game? Now you came out eventually and said, okay, I'm withdrawing the bill. See, many times when we talk about all the predicaments in Africa, everybody always lambasts the West. They lambast France, West, Belgium, all these people. But I totally disagree with that notion of blaming these people. Because you know what? These people, they left their own country to come over to our own country. If there's no any crack in the war, how would they be able to penetrate into us and siphon our resources and take all our stuff?
The support of our own support. No, those who are supposed to protect us.
Yes, anytime I talk like this, and people will respond, people will say, oh, it's like this. So let's say you are the president and they come to you, you want to take your resources and pay you peanuts and you refuse, they're going to go behind you and get somebody else, to plan a coup like that. No. It's because we don't speak with one voice, we are also divided. That's why they were able to penetrate into us. So you kill all these people in Kenya now. You are claiming 19 people. And according to the last time you did show about this Kenya riot or whatever, I think there's 705 people died, killed. So all of a sudden, from 100 and something people
in a place called the Githurai, okay, which is a bit outside Nairobi and Mombasa, all those popular ones, right? Githurai is also like a well-populated area. That's where that grandma that was crying yesterday, that's where she comes from, looking for.
Yes, I saw that video. Yes.
But yeah, they are now saying that it's 30, it's 19. It's a reason why they are pushing that narrative, okay? So it doesn't look as bad as it is.
Okay, so let's say 19. The young 12-year-old, I don't know if it's he or she, that was shot 12 times or 7 times, like you said. I remember 7 times. Shot 7 times. All in the name of what?
And it was with
all in the name of what?
Real bullet, 8 times.
See, I don't think Kenya will relent until this guy says fine. That guy will leave.
Well, a lot of people believe that he's so powerful. Let me tell you one thing about him I heard too before you go. Papa.
Yes.
They said
yes.
There were those who they call the witnesses, okay, during the trial of what happened in Kenya pre-2010. It was a serious problem that people were killed, right? So those responsible,
yes,
including some politicians were also like, indicted, including this Ruto. He wasn't president then. He was, I think, after that he became vice president. Okay. Now you see this Ruto, they said those who went to the ICC to give witness from Kenya, people actually know them. that for the safety of their lives, I mean, for their own lives, right? They had to run into hiding when politicians in Kenya were looking for them. That once they kill them, they couldn't. I mean, they won't be witnesses anymore. Anyway, right? It was this Ruto that they said spoke to them and told them to come out. Like, we need reconciliation. We need to And then a few days after that, them coming out, they slaughtered all of them. See, there are so many other dark stories from Kenya. Like, we have all of our own dark story from Nigeria, right? Where some ethnic nationality will just be targeted and killed. Where the soldiers will go to a because of their political so they will just disappear. Baba, in
yes,
it is even
yes. I agree with you. But you know, on that case, and Akpabio, in the manner in which you spoke, see, Nigerians are willing willer. Okay? When they are tired of being a willing willer, they will get to the street.
They know who to go after. See,
yes. Right now, they are willing willer. Baba.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me
Thank you very much.
Too. Yeah, let's take another.
Bye. All right, have a nice.
And you too. Hello.
Yeah, hello there, Mr. Mayego. How are you today?
I am very well. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I just want to say keep up the good work. May God bless you in all your endeavors.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah, you're keeping us going, man. We in diaspora, you lift our spirits, you know. When we got to talk about our country and kind of make our own contributions. But sometimes it could be very sad, you know, with all the shenanigans that's going on, what you transmit to us, you know, because you are like our mouthpiece.
I'm your eyes, and then
you are your eyes.
You are all busy with the normal day to day, right? But there's always going to be an hour that you can go listen to my tell us.
I'm telling you, I remember the other day I was traveling to Belgium from London, and apparently, you know, I played your sermon all through till I got into the ferry. You know, after I got to the ferry, I couldn't get it receive anymore. When I got to the other side, I continued. Then you finished. Because it took about 3 hours. However, tonight I want to say it looks like democracy. Listen to all what is happening. Look at what is happening across Africa. Apart from North Africa, where they are more politically conscious.
A little bit stable.
Yeah, it looks like democracy is not fit for the other part of Africa. Because it doesn't make sense anymore. Under military regime, right? No ethnic side, ethnic group or region was ostracized. But in this civilian regime, I call it not democracy. They call it democracy, but to me, I call it a civilian regime.
It is a regime.
We had Obasanjo leveling a whole village, bomb a whole village just because of their oil. We have the Ensign saga, where children were massacred, and people came out and told you, even Fashola, behaving like a dog, coming to tell us lies that nobody died. When we know more than 200 or 300 of our youths died. We have the Okoma incident recently, where military officers went on their own personal business and got killed out of some deals they made with all that, like with Tompola and other people, right? And a whole village was flattened.
Yes.
We have in the east where a state governor, Imo State, who's on demand because he wants to contest for election, destroyed villages and prevented them from coming to elect to an election. And the guy won that election, which was a farce. We have unknown soldiers in the southeast killing people. We have a House of Assembly member in Kano State murdering people because they refused to vote for him.
Yes.
You understand? And nothing happened. So sometimes you think this democracy, right? Is it really a democracy? It doesn't make sense anymore. You understand? And I think these people are to blame. Because to my own understanding, the most dangerous threat to our democracy are the banks. Number one, the banks.
God bless you.
Number two, the arrogancy of the supposedly elected politicians. And number three, the dogmatic behavior of the electorates, the people themselves. They are so dogmatic. You think that what happened in Kenya will translate to Nigeria or Ghana or Cameroon.
They are already complaining that they are overdoing it.
Yeah, no, nobody's overdoing anything. Look, Ruto will have to go. That's how democracy works. Nobody, you know that upon all this, even the media houses in Nigeria are not even telling people that you can recall a government, you can recall Tinubu. It's in the Constitution, it's in the Electoral Act and the Constitution. You can recall a government, you can recall all the people elected. Apapio, they can recall them tomorrow. It happened in Kogi State now when they were trying to recall what happened? The people stood by him, they couldn't recall him. They have the power to recall, but unfortunately, I don't know if it's poverty or sensitization. The people don't seem to know what is happening. Our youth are abusing themselves on the internet, very dark man, abusing what they call him, Yabo Ojo and her husband. And that's what they are more concerned about. When I go on Facebook, I go on the internet, I go on Instagram, it's about very dark man. They are not talking about themselves. So our youth are to blame. The people themselves, people that elect the politicians, they are to blame for all this nonsense. And another threat to our democracy, right? You know what I'm saying now? Is the collective responsibility of the people now to ask their people that to demand accountability from their politicians. Yes, but nobody does that. Somebody will just come on board to the media houses, right? When you will see that anytime Tinubu has problem, a political problem, the next thing, right? Tennis division and arise, right? I don't know if they call them, I don't know if they force them to call them to come and defend them. You see one of their minister APC members coming to defend that action.
Spewing lies. And they will barely be countered or fact-checked.
And sometimes they will consume you. Those lies will consume you. Look at Obla. When Obla was accused, right? I fell for it. Believe me, I fell for it. Yeah, I fell for it, man. When they were accusing Obla, I said, look at this idiot.
They were bringing all those charges. And also buried of him.
Yeah, they said he had a fake certificate, blah, blah, blah. I believe
he went to school.
I believe that. I believe them. It's now when this guy is coming out to tell us the truth now that I started blaming myself. I said, why did I believe this? Why did I consume this nonsense? And one of the pressmen that is more dangerous to our democracy is Dele Otitoju of TVC. That man spewed a lot of nonsense. Those are the people that supported Buhari to come to power. Even when Buhari was failing us, at the time, Dele was just saying that Buhari is the best president for Nigeria. I don't know if they give him, but funny enough, right? It's not been really appointment. It's just the same pressman is. So I don't know where it's coming from. They
always have people like that. Look at some of the faces you have seen in CNN, for example, right? So you will see that some of them have been there for 30 years, 40 years.
I'm telling you, man.
But they have made them so much a legend and powerful that sometimes, right, they can be as influential as some politicians in America. And you'll be wondering, he's just a journalist, he's just a talk show host. They have been there, planted in that system, right? To groom people like themselves into the media, mainstream media. And you'll be seeing some young people talking like him. And you'll be like, how come this young person is sounding like Dele? I mean, Titolo or whatever, right? You are a young person. You shouldn't be sounding like that man. He is grooming them. And many people grooming that way.
It's so sad.
Yeah, right? Those are the ones, right, that will be deceiving our own children.
Okay? I'm telling you.
Telling our own children what Otito Joe, whatever, told us, right? And those before us. See, it's a
I know. We that are above 60, right? We are so confused. We don't know where to go, right? It's so confusing, so frustrating. Finally, right? I know that there are people waiting to call, right? Finally, the process of our election, right, is 100% faulty. to me, right? To me, we have 3 majority groups in Nigeria, right? But the problem, what we are not discussing about, right? Those are not, they are not the only Nigerians. We have 750 languages and 350 ethnic groups. Where are if the minorities are even make more than the majorities? Our election process, right? If the president is from the north, is an Hausa man. I don't want to say Hausa Fulani. Just say the president is an Hausa man. The vice president is a Yoruba man. The person that officiates, that organize, and man the election should be from one of the minority groups, so that nobody can influence him. Look at Yakubu now; he's still there up to now. The guy is the Fulani, right? If tomorrow, right?
They've extended this term. He's spending another 5-year term.
Just tell me like the Fulani people are ganging up now, right? To overthrow Tinubu, and they threaten him, like what they did to Buhari when Abiola won the election, and Buhari confessed, said if he had made Abiola the president of Nigeria, right, they would have wiped up the whole of his family. That was why Babangida obstructed the election. That's what people don't understand. He has retired. They told him, they threatened him, because there are some people. Look, some people, right, owns Nigeria. There are some groups in the north that owns Nigeria. He cohort with some groups, minority in the south, that eat the crumbs from their table. You understand what I'm saying? So that was what happened. So that's where we have the problem. If Yakubu of Shida election and Abubakar contest tomorrow, he will defeat Buhari, he will defeat Tinubu. I bet you any money. They will write that result, and nothing will happen.
Thank you so
much. In the real sense, right? Yeah, all right. Thank you very
so
much
for that.
Okay,
as always. Anyway, so thanks a lot. Now, see, those who are calling through WhatsApp, see, I understand your dilemma, okay? When I have callers who call directly through the direct line, like they are, no WhatsApp. So all the WhatsApp calls are going to just be pushed behind. I kind of have a way of mixing them up, okay? So I'm taking call from the WhatsApp now. Yeah, hello.
My General. Good evening.
Sir.
It's Ferdinand from Newcastle.
Ferdinand, see yourself now. You've become a regular veteran now, right? And I love you for that. How are you this evening?
Yeah, thank you very much. Your program is always captivating, and as such, I can't help taking it like a daily medicine.
Let's see, Baba. Here we go.
I was actually before I state my point, I'll just be brief. I was actually on YouTube a few minutes ago while I was listening to your program, and somebody posted that Guinness is leaving Nigeria after 75 years or thereabout. So I went straight to the comment section. I was reading comments. You can't believe that almost 80% of the Nigerian youth were actually saying, "Oh, let them go. Guinness is an alcoholic company. What use is the beer for us? Most of them were, from the north, even from the south. They were just looking at it from the religious perspective. So I dropped a comment, and I'm like, look, this is not about Guinness being an alcoholic company or whatever you think. This is about huge investment leaving Nigeria, and Guinness is just one of a few. And don't forget, when these companies leave, the unemployment rate increases, and some of these beers, it means that you have to be importing them at a higher cost. People don't really understand what is happening in a lot of Nigerians. So they tend to see it that it's a good thing that Guinness is actually leaving Nigeria. Can you imagine that?
You know something about Nigerian psychology I want you to please pay attention to, okay? Most of the time, it is not that Nigerians don't understand the implication of all these things. Economically, they do. But you see, there's something about Nigerians generally, okay? When I say generally, I simply mean that talking about our biases, all right? Only a few of us see beyond tribe, ethnic, religion, or whatever other connection we have with other people, right? Before we make our proper decisions about things, okay? So where our relationship doesn't cloud our judgment when we want to say things as they are, right? So generally in Nigeria, a lot of people do believe, right, to some extent, that if someone is failing in his duty and it's going to cost us, or it's going to cost a lot of people pains, but that person is somebody they like. It may not even be from their tribe or what have you, but I'm just using that one that's the strongest part where people actually attach tribe and all that. But there are people who are not from that same tribe, but they just have this bias towards this person. Now, because of their biases, so they will underplay. They will agree that that thing is bad, right? They know, right? But they will just underplay the consequences
tune, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. That's
exactly
what happened.
And so
exactly.
They know they are moving. But do you know? Don't you know that they are like a sin to be drinking? It's even bad for your health. They know about the economic. They are not stupid, but it suits their agenda. Because if they agree with you, they will have to condemn the people they respect, the people they support.
Of course,
and they don't want to.
And and that is why that brings me to my next point. This is actually analysis I've been making on my own, because I read about politics and I try to analyze politics sometimes. You see, what is really playing out now in Nigeria is Nigeria has eventually crashed already, and it will divide further in future. And guess who is actually doing the job better? It is the APC, the establishment. You see, the greed to be in power of these politicians and their selfishness is eventually dividing Nigeria and damaging it more and more. Why do I say this? You could recall that 8 years ago, 8 years of Buhari was very, very bad for Nigerians. And during that tenure, a lot of things happened. Dollar increased, inflation was high. There was NSAS protest. Northern youths never joined in that protest, and they never continued for one day. In fact, during the NSAS protest,
right?
right?
To them, yes, we are suffering. Yes, they are us. But does that mean that we have to lose the presidency? So we are not going to have president anymore?
No, that is it.
Because we are dying.
Yeah,
we would rather have president.
Yeah, exactly. That is what they were saying. This is what actually brings my point. Now, the North is the few brokers you made a few days ago. You mentioned the North ganging up to take off. That is going to be a one-time president. Now, this has actually. I've actually tried to reason it from another perspective. Now, the Northerners are coming to take off Tinubu.
Yes.
That his administration is very bad. Things are difficult. As if Buhari's own was very good. Now, I'm not from the North, and I'm not Yoruba either. I'm an Igbo guy, and I'm going to be very objective here. A typical Yoruba man would be like, "What of Buhari? Was his own better? Now it is Tinubu's turn. You guys want to take him off." And if you kind of like try to balance it from an objective perspective, the Northern, in as much as I'm not in support of Tinubu's government and administration, the Northerners are trying to they have this delusion that they alone can decide who will be the president of Nigeria and who will not. I'm not in support of Tinubu, but I think that what Tinubu is going to do now is Tinubu loves that presidency so much that he wants to. It's like a lifetime ambition for him. And what I'm thinking is that with this regional government he's trying to do, he's going to kind of like clip the wings of the Northerners. Tinubu feels too big to go and beg the Northerners the second time for them to endorse him. You get it? So what I feel is that he's going to break down their powers.
Yeah, from my own experience, he's going to beg them. Not because they were going to stop him from, you know what I mean? It needs their validation. Okay, it needs it. They will make Nigeria ungovernable for Tinubu. It's already starting. You are going to see bombs everywhere. Bomb Abuja. Do you understand?
What if this regional government comes into play,
Tifnumbu,
you know, all those
regional government coming from Tifnumbu, number one is a red flag. It's not the regional government you have in mind. When Tifnumbu if Tifnumbu pushes regional government, right? I promise you, Ferdinand, it is not that one you have in mind. It's not that one that, you know, everybody will be independent. No, it won't be. Okay? It's just going to take the advantage if he sees an advantage in it. I know a lot of people are already saying it. Okay? Like, oh, it will bring restructuring. No. It will beg them. Ferdinand, it will beg them. They will make Nigeria ungovernable soon. Okay? They're going to bomb places. They're going to do horrible things that a lot of people have forgotten about in the last 8 years. Despite the fact that the terrorists are using guns, they will use bomb now. Now, all of this will give Nigeria, it will make Nigeria even worse. Okay? Now, they will try to want to repeat the same trick they used on Jonathan. Just to force Okay, just to force his hand. They can't take him out. But unfortunately, the trick to Obama's White House in 2014 was actually given to them by Tifnumbu. It wasn't these northerners. So it's complicated. Now, the only time you will see Tifnumbu go for the broke is if he sees that they've made up their minds. Okay? Like, it's not them trying to get his attention. They've made up their minds. And film go constant.
Okay, now in addition to your last point you just made, now don't you think that if they've made up their mind and Tinubu cannot do anything about it, guess who the Yorubas are going to be running back to for a union government? You know, the Yorubas are going to be looking for allies, and guess the next people they are going to run to? It is the same people they are killing and destroying their properties in Lagos.
No, they will be calling you.
Do you know that?
See, I told you.
They will come back to the Igbos soon because the North is really going to mess Tinubu up. And you know, the North, once they've made up their mind, it's really difficult for them to go back. You get it? If they started calling Tinubu one-time president, trust me, they'll make a very serious move on it. And the Yorubas will start running back to the same Igbos they were demolishing their houses and destroying their businesses in Lagos.
Something, Ferdinand, before you go, right? Could you just please, right, replace that Yorubas when you are talking about it, right? Could you please replace that with the Ronuku, please?
Okay, sorry about that.
To say because he's fighting with this or that, then the Yoruba is going to automatically. No, it's not going to be like that. But yes,
the
Ronukus are who are hating, who are creating this tribal ethnic tension. Okay, they would have to come back to the Igbos and begin the romance again. I will be here.
Of course,
all of us will be here.
Of course, they have to go back to the Igbos and and the South for alliance again. And these were the same people that they actually tried to push out of Lagos, and because of Tinubu. So I think he has also put himself in a very hot spot because of his ambition and greed for president. That's just the analysis I've been trying to make. Thank you very much. I keep up the good work.
God bless you, Ferdinand. You did so well that you kind of broadened this conversation, and I love it when people do that. Okay, you kind of make it more like, my Lord Gorel, no, they deceive yourself. Even Tifnumbu will not deceive himself. If this is Fulani associate come for his head, a lot of us, we are just going to pay for rentals. We're going to rent chairs. We'll take seats, bring out our cameras and phones, okay? And document the event. Me, I will document all of that. I've said it many times. This is not the first time. But there are two things I want you to please whenever we are having this kind of conversation, okay? That the North is ganging up against Tifnumbu. So therefore, the Tifnumbu, as a Yoruba man, the Yorubas are now Yorubas are not fighting Igbos. Yorubas don't hate Igbos. Tifnumbu and his Ronukus, who also hate Yorubas. This is something that all of us must please be conscious of. I know it may be so difficult for some of you to actually separate them. But it is so unfortunate that a lot of you will say Yoruba this, Yoruba that because of Tifnumbu. Then you will kind of pretend that the same Tifnumbu people are not calling to kill us. Because we will never, no real Yoruba will publicly associate with Tifnumbu. Look around the people around him. Look at those kind of people that are supporting him. Look at those who are they said he made them politically. And then look at the Yoruba land, how the real Yorubas react to these people. So it's so sad that a lot of you always associate Tifnumbu with Yoruba, but you also forgot that these people attacked their fellow Yorubas because of Tifnumbu. They said if their fellow Yorubas, they are not full Yorubas, they are still pushing it because of Tifnumbu. His own Ronukus are calling Yoruba Somoale because of Tifnumbu. But yet, all of now who are non-Yorubas, any small thing. You see this Yoruba, this tribe, any small thing. Because of Tifnumbu. So I will continue to use my own platform to correct you. That even Tifnumbu's supporters, they hate Yoruba land. They do. They are happy with the impoverishment of our people, the looting of our resources, and the oppression of our people, the dilapidated infrastructures across Yoruba land. They would rather praise these criminals and condemn anybody that's tried to call them out. They don't love Yoruba land. They hate Yoruba land. They hate the Yorubas. But they continue to say they are the Yorubas. We are the Yorubas. We will chase everybody out of Yoruba land. We will nye out of Yoruba land. Yet, all of you still point at us and say, Yorubas, Tinubu, we are not for that criminal. But there are some Yorubas for him. Of course, there are some Yorubas for him. Don't get it twisted, please. For the sake of posterity. Here is another caller. Hello. Oh, why do people call in and then somehow they just cut off? Like, say, okay, you know something, I'm going to stop. And I'm going to stop that right away. Like, you know the people that actually call me in, they will call in directly. They cheat people. They are called through WhatsApp, right? Now, because they cheat people, they could call in and terminate the people calling in from WhatsApp, right? So they take the space, ruin it, and then they drop because they could call back anytime. I'm going, no, where's the SIM card for this? Sorry, guys, I'm actually doing this on the live program, okay? So, I'll come back to that. Please, if you call me, right, I may be talking. If I pick your call, at least check your phone, okay? So if I pick your call and you realize I'm actually talking, don't hang up. If you hang up and I actually bring you on and then you're like, cut off, then you want to try again, you know, it's usually those who are actually calling directly. So after this evening, you will not be able to call directly on the line anymore. You will have to kind of fight for your place on that WhatsApp line, okay? Here, let's see this, if that one stays. Hello.
Hello, Mayegun.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, too. Thanks for asking.
Thank you for the burning flame this evening.
Thank you.
This is Odogu. I'm calling from
Odogu.
US.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while.
This afternoon.
I'm good. Meanwhile, I just wanted to highlight on something that Nigeria nearly escaped a Kenyan repeat of chaos today. This very dark man nearly triggered that, and this is from a reliable source. Somebody called from the highest authorities. I got this information from somebody who was, among those who were just calling the presidency to just calm down the impending doom. Very dark man situation nearly triggered what we are looking for, what we've been waiting for.
Really?
But this government saw it, yes. This government saw it, and somebody in the presidency asked the police to release that guy quickly because the internet was burning down.
Has it been released now, yeah?
Yes.
Right.
And we were waiting for that moment. But Nigeria government
keeps dodging it.
Yes. Unfortunately, I wish they would pick another person because anything now will ignite Nigeria. We're just waiting for it. So I'm asking Nigerians, be law abiding, do whatever you need to do. But Anybody they touch this time around, you see, this week we are entering. This is the final act where we will enter. Anybody the Nigeria government picks or touches in terms of intimidation or gelling, that Nigeria is gone.
So it will trigger anything, and then they will
it
just be
will
like
trigger
the avalanche of other things that will follow. Yeah.
Yes. So you remember how this case started? Very dark man exposed somebody who did something, and then police went and picked him.
Yes.
So people were waiting for that opportunity, and they escaped. Then, with what is going on in Kenya so far, a lot of African countries are opening up their eyes because people didn't see that coming, that Africans can really react in this manner,
and then keep it up so much that it's actually so effective enough.
Yes.
I mean, I saw Kenyans were all over London yesterday, 2 days ago, and they bombarded their embassy and the number is growing too, and with the way things is going on back in that country, so would the solidarity will grow all over the world too. It's a matter of time.
Yes. And you can see that even the officials in the Nigerian government, you see that some of them have just gone underground in recent time. Since this Kenyan stuff, nobody is coming out to do any gra-gra, except these police guys that just misbehaved today. And they were warned to stay away. Just leave these guys alone. People are not happy.
They will make a mistake.
Yes, they will make a mistake.
Maybe one of them will actually really be a situation of preparation meets opportunity, or that they are worried about what's going on in Kenya is an understatement. They are scared.
Yes.
To the point that they are already pushing an agenda. Don't bring this to Nigeria. We don't want this thing in Nigeria. That they are already in that state of panicky. That tell people not to bring it to Nigeria. Subconsciously.
Correct.
Thank you so much.
So that's what we are waiting for, and it's going to happen. The shit must hit fan, and everybody go get popoye.
Yeah, it's last. They don't cast. You see that one with that my Ogogo said no. Now everybody go chop breakfast. You have a good night, sir. Right?
Very well. Please play Aturege song for me, please. Aturege.
Okay, I'll do that. I will.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers, sir. Odogu.
Oh, gbogbo ala máa jẹ breakfast. Àsìkò tó ní kálukú máa jẹ tiẹ̀ ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni. Súnmọ́ bìlà.
Àtisebo, àtisete, àti ń parọ́ tipẹ́, àtisete, tìtó òdìmú òdodo òsì mọ́, àtisete, kágbádé fáláre, àtisete, kágbẹ̀bí fáláre, àtisete adájọ́ ń parọ́ torí owó, àtisete òdìlú ń parọ́ nítorí ipò, àtisete, èdò gbówó ń tẹ́, àtisete, ìyà ń jẹ aráàlú, àtisete.
Hello there.
Hello, Maegu. Good evening.
Lady Charm. How are you this evening, ma'am?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. I'm very well. Thanks for asking. Please.
Good. Nice talk today.
Thank you.
I just wanted to lend my voice exactly to what you were saying. Ferdinand from Newcastle, I think. Because when he kept on talking about Yoruba people, Yoruba people didn't vote for Tinubu, for goodness sake.
Not in that manner. Come on.
No.
It was obvious. But they still blame us. Here you get. That's why I told our people here that a lot of us need to kind of understand that if you begin to react to what everybody says online because you are a Yoruba man, you're just gonna overstress yourself, so to say. Or let's say all this nonsense they say online as well against the Igbos by the Yorubas who are mostly the Abobakus, right? If you go by that, you're gonna wear yourself out, right? Or maybe once in a while we need to remind ourselves here, like
it was good that it was good that you actually, even after he called and after his call ended, and you took a moment to say, listen, what they call it, Tinubu is not a Yoruba choice. It's not the choice of the average Yoruba man. A lot of people that I know who are Yoruba did not vote for Tinubu and will not vote for
We
Tinubu.
know him. We will never associate with such person. And it's obvious too, right, Cham? They hate the Yorubas that call them out.
I don't even think even they hate it. You just, across the board, they hate humanity as far as I'm concerned, because we're all supposed to be human. They just hate everybody. They're not even trying to do anything. In fact, the amount of money that when you say, okay, this is how much these people are stealing, it still, shocks me. I say, what is one person doing with $9 billion, for goodness sake? Where do you want to start? Where do you want to finish? With the $69 billion, you're not even doing anything productive. It's just sitting down somewhere. Just sitting somewhere, doing nothing for you, nothing for anybody, So the hate is not just per tribe or anything. The hate is across the board, because you must really hate your own people. You must enjoy seeing them be sick, suffer, die, and be, have no access in any way, shape, or form, right? For you to justify the money that you're stealing. It has to come from a place of hate, And this is not just directed to any tribe. Whatever is going on between tribes, like you said, it's a political tool. It has never been, okay, this is an organic way that Igbo people feel about Yoruba people. Because when you ask somebody, okay, what is it that you don't like about Igbo people? Exactly. Oh, they want to come here, they want to own us. How are they owning what?
They want to take over our land. They don't respect our leaders. They don't respect our traditions. What are you talking about?
Did you have any laws or anything that you asked people to generally abide by, and they didn't abide by those laws?
Violate them.
And they violated those laws. Is there something you said, okay, this is Yoruba land, we celebrate such and such and such. This is our tradition. This is from I'm not coming from like, okay, politically motivated, traditional.
Politically motivated. Let somebody who is Igbo here come and tell me that the reason why he believes that the Yorubas are tribalistic, they are this and that, was because one day he was walking on the road of Yoruba land, and the Yoruba grabbed him and said, "Oh my Igbo, who will kill you, you Igbo." Yorubas won't do that to you, but the politically sponsored ones, they will do it again and again.
They will do it again and again. So sometimes we need to separate and differentiate and even understand what our problems are. Then the previous scholar talked about, that Nigeria was almost at the verge of, becoming like Kenya on the what they call it, a very dark man. I said, if hunger, if the lack of good governance, and all the things that it brings has not motivated you to come out there, and it is on top of very dark man, then you're not ready. You're not ready. Very dark man, for all he's doing and everything, is not the reason why you're going to hit the street.
You can't hit the street because of him. But you can't. Spark too. Don't rule it out, right? Remember that answers, right? It was a guy that we thought died. Cham, do you remember NSAS, how it all started? Do you? Like in bits. Okay, I'll tell you. Don't worry. I'll tell you. So it was this guy who was being arrested. It was was alleged Yahoo boy, but it wasn't. Okay. So in the process of trying to arrest him in Delta states, okay, they now shot. Bah, bah. So the impression we had, the moment they shot, bah, bah, the guy just fell. And then they put the guy, they don't kill him, oh, they don't kill him, you know go. So the police now wanted to run away. So that scenario was what made it to social media. And people now started doing the hashtag NSAS now. NSAS now. Then people were like, in Delta, right? People of Delta in that Abraka or so area, right? They now mobilized and staged the first NSAS protests in Delta State. It was 4 days later that the thing hit Lagos. Before then, it's already hit Port Harcourt. It hit Aba. But guess what? Today, majority of all this politically sponsored narrative continue to make it look like NSAS actually started in Lagos. I was having a chat with my friends today, and you know what? They were like, "No, it started in Lagos now." I was like, "So you are not sure?" And I told the story. I was like, "Oh, it's true." It's true. I remember. But they are
if you didn't
politically
tell
put
the
it
story,
in their brains
right?
that every time you talk about protest, you are targeting Lagos. Who are those
Lagos
who are
State,
pushing the narrative? Tifnumbu and APC. Continue.
Absolutely. So, like, if you didn't mention it now, I would have assumed that it actually started in Lagos as well. So it's a good thing that we're talking about it. So yes, I agree that some events can trigger some things, but I'm saying that it cannot be on that hill of that man that you're going to say, okay, on the strength of this man doing this and that and the other, that you're going to come out. There's so much going on in our country. Half of the things that the Kenyans are protesting about have already been done to us, and more is still coming. Do you understand? That is enough. The hunger that people are experiencing on a daily basis, the lack of access to good health, medicine, poor infrastructure, and nothing is coming. Do you understand? You're doing this show on a daily basis, and you know that there's no change that is coming. There's no kind of improvement that is coming down in any way, shape, or form. What we're looking at is a country that will continue to be, the money and everything, that the need for all of this improvements and everything is not going to get there. It's not going to get done. It's not going to get to any. So we're still looking at more. How do I put it? More of us being disenfranchised at the end of the day. Do you understand? So on the strength of that, right? That is what should make you hit the streets. Not very dark man. Very dark man, fine, I understand, okay, this thing can trigger some things. But don't come on this show and tell us that, okay, it almost happened. We're not looking for almost happening. It should be happening. You understand? It should be happening. Not nearly, it's almost happening. It's nearly happened and then it stopped. I don't feel that this government has the capacity, nor the capabilities to stop anything that, like what is happening in Kenya. Once it starts, they will now say, "Oh, yeah, we got rid of this."
It goes like that of Kenya. Kenyans have their lives, and they fear that 40% of them are going to be dipped in abject poverty. So they rejected that, even if they have to die. Like you said, if Nigerians who have been dipped into abject poverty, over 60% of Nigerians are living below poverty line as we speak, right? If that's not enough to trigger any revolution.
We're not yet ready. We're not yet ready. I'm fine.
That makes sense.
The northern, because now the northern elites, they met up, and a few days later we now have bombing. So you're right. They're trying to make the whole place ungovernable so that they can say that, oh yeah, Tinubu is such a terrible president. There's insecurity. Forgetting that.
I'll tell you, Cham, you know what they're going to do, right? They're going to change it, okay? In the next 1 year, all right? The northern Nigeria is going to be so outspoken that it's going to be like, Buhari was never president of Nigeria. You will see. Okay? But even not, see, is it not happening already?
It's happening already.
The things that Buhari did, Tifnumbu is already surpassing them. Right?
Exactly.
Right now. But we are taking stock.
All people are here talking about how he's doing this and doing that. Where was this energy when it was happening in Buhari's time? Where was all of this energy? When people said, "Oh, let's protest about it," they said, "No, protest is haram. Not going to protest." Muslim people, no energy. But now Tinubu's turn, it is now Shege Pro Max. Now it's that, oh yes, we have to protest. We have to show you how incompetent you are.
We need unity. All of us need to unite and face this government. Let us forget about Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba. This is coming from Arewa. I say Oguki you there.
No.
Who is your unity? Who is
And then finally, this other guy was saying that how maybe they should make somebody from the majority a president, and how minority people should become the vice president. I said, Oga, is all this nonsense not enough? Is that how we should elect our leaders? By majority and minority? Or should we be electing leaders because they are able to actually do what it is that they're meant to do in terms of governance? Not to talk about if it's a Hausa man that's able to change the trajectory of the country, I'll vote for that Hausa man before I vote for an Igbo man. If an Igbo man is the best person who is able to do and move that country forward, then yes, okay, we will do that. But those conversations are not the conversations of any society that we want to build, whether it's Biafra, whether it is whether it is Oduduwa Nation or Arewa Nation, whatever. We're not looking for tribes. We're looking for people who are competent. So let's stop that nonsense about majority and minority. Enough of it already. This is let other people go.
Thank you, Charm. Indeed. I have I did something during the chat. I'm so sorry, okay? Like that's the way we can be very much like fair. If you have been trying to call directly, like you used to be able to call directly and beat the line, jump the queue. So what happens is that you won't be able anymore, okay? Just keep trying that number through the WhatsApp only. WhatsApp only. And you'll be next as, speaking to me now. Now, see Toju, thank you so much. Oh. I got a cup of coffee there from my own person. God bless you, Toju. So, 1 second. Okay, I think I got that out. This one too. Right? So, please, we are almost rounding it up tonight, which simply means that we only have just about 15 minutes to go. Maybe I'll take one or maybe 2 calls, whichever one that we're able to do. I want you to remember that if you leave without dropping your offering, you may not even remember to come back and give it. So, Emma Che Oguni, like so. I'm not Ogun, but I'm just saying, like, it's a phrase, just like the broadcast. Simple. Hello there.
Hello, Mayegun General. Good afternoon.
Wahala, Baba. How are
you? Baba, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the great show. Thank you for your education. I wanted to talk about William Ruto. I didn't even know that he was a genocidist.
Google it now.
I had no clue. Last night I went out. Okay. So I had the opportunity to hang out with my Kenyan friend. And the guy happens to be Kalenji. Kalenji is the ethnic group that William Ruto is a member of. Right. So there was this case sometimes in the mid 2000s where I believe there was an election. So the post-electoral violence, it became a tribal war between the Kalenjis and the Kikuyus. The Kikuyus in that area, okay, let me use it in the Nigerian terminology. It's almost like in Kanu that is dominated by Hausa people. These days, maybe Fulanis, I don't know. In Kanu, they started killing Igbo people in 1965, the Igbo program. That was something similar that happened between the Kalenjis and the Kikuyu. So eventually, there were about 80 Kikuyus that took refuge in a church, and the church was burnt to the ground with all 80 of them killed. And William Ruto happened to be one of the leaders of the Kalenjis that was instigating the people to make that happen. That's how we ended up in the ICC. So I remember when Ruto was campaigning in 2021, people like me, we were naive because Buhari had punished us. So we were just looking for any good leader that sounded eloquent, that looked reasonable. We even hyped guys like Nana Akufo-Addo of Ghana. We thought Nana Akufo was a great leader. Oh, he's a great leader. Give us Nana Akufo. Take Buhari. That's what people like me were saying because I was naive. I was saying the same thing about William Ruto, not knowing that these are a bunch of terrorists that we've been overhyping. But I just thought I shared that with the people. We learn something new every day. A lot of these are people that we push. These guys are, man, we need to dig deep and understand who they thoroughly are. And thank you for helping us correct our good brother Ferdinand in those generalizing statements. I'm not accusing Ferdinand of being a negative person. No, I'm not. But sometimes we fall into these situations where we subconsciously say things that continue to put us all down. Thank you, Mayegun General. Thank you so much, my brother.
The African Wahala. Thank you so much for that extra information. Indeed, what you have just done is that you have probably presented Ruto the way I was intending to present him. That, and you put the facts beside themselves and make it more easier for people to read more on what really happened then, right? God bless you. Now I'll take this. And I probably should call it our last caller. Depends though, right? So I still have like about 7 minutes to go. Hello there.
Hello, Mayegu Baba.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. This is Chris calling from Sweden again.
Yes, of course. That's Chris from Sweden, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing today, Chris?
I'm very good, sir. And you?
Well, very well. Can't really complain. Thank you so much for asking.
Yes. Did you see the interview with Reni Omokri today? Or what he wrote, or accusing Peter Obi of supporting EPOB? Did you see that? Just because he said this,
it won't be his first time.
and just because he came to say enough is enough, released Nnamdi Kanu.
Oh, that means he released that. I mean, he did that interview after that one I played earlier, right?
Yes.
Like, what the hell is really wrong with that guy?
You know, honestly, those people that support Tinubu or APC in general, I don't understand if they can listen to what they are saying, like play it back to themselves and try to understand that they don't sound like human beings anymore. Even Atiku said release Nnamdi Kanu. Why didn't you say
he would discuss with them? It would look into this and that, and then yeah, it should be released.
Yeah. So why this guy now decide to now term Peter Obi as an EPOB member just because he said release this man? These people are pushing Nigerians. The only funny part about the whole thing is that Nigerians are not reacting.
Yes.
Let me follow you and say yet, because I don't know.
Is it like this? Let's be honest, okay? But what we kind of hope for is that whenever it's going to blow up, that people should live up enough to see it to the end. Not all this flash.
Exactly.
Because what's the point in all of us saying that thing is going to happen? The revolution will happen. They will push people to the wall. Then boom, it don't happen. Oh, they don't start for Shokoto. It don't enter Tarabao. Now it's actually important. You know, like, oh yeah, it's happening. And after a day or two, everybody go back home.
You know, my ego.
That's my own worst fear, Baba. Chris. That's my worst fear.
You know, I am Igbo. They have marginalized the Igbos to the point that an Igbo man has no right to complain. Once you complain about the situation of Nigeria, they say you are hip-hop. You hate Nigeria, that you are those that wants to destroy Nigeria. Just because you are saying
or you
exactly.
They continue to obedience and Obi as Igbos hip-hop. And that's deliberate.
I'm still waiting for the day they will say
before they gave Igbo, right? Peter B has more people who believe that he could be president outside Igbo land than inside
exactly.
You know the total number of Peter Obi from the entire eastern Nigeria, he no reach 1 million. No.
Yes.
If you add all of them together, but guess what?
Yes.
The other places where we say he really you get. They into position it as in fact, there was a one madman who told me, he said, and I said, the Igbos are everywhere. I said, oh, so 6 million Igbos actually were the ones that I said, it is all deliberate, Baba. They deliberate.
I'm still waiting for one day they will say you to your iPod, Baba. I'm waiting because you are saying that Nigeria.
Adeyinka Grandel said that he sent his men after me, his dogs. They said I can't be full Yoruba. That I should ask my mother.
Can you imagine?
Father. Some said, no. We know his mother. His mother is half Igbo.
What?
Because, see, you know why majority of you don't kind of see is because I don't really go into the gutters with them. I won't come on my program, right, and spend hours talking about him or talking about somebody who just said something about me. That's why a lot of you don't know how much of this. They said I'll be Igbo. Question him very well. He's a Igbo. I know it 100%.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That's why I
can look at what they did to GRV. Look at what they did to GRV.
It is all
the only crime that he did was that his mother was from the Igbo land. That's the only crime that man committed.
I have a man here. He's an elderly man. Okay. And normally, right, you will think this person can't be listening to Mayegu and be this bigoted, right? This person is an older man. Here. Do you know that they still believe that Obasanjo's father is Igbo? And do you know the originator of that story? Tifnumbu and his gang during the AD days.
Wow.
AD days. Nobody knows Tifnumbu Papa. Nobody knows Tifnumbu Mama. He denied his own birth parents. Up to today. Adopted Abibatu Mogaji, who adopted him as his mother. Nobody is asking about his father. But guess what? They are the ones who always call people Omoale. Omoale this, Omoale that. People will not know them, Papa. But they built that story in 1999. They said Obasanjo used the seat to collect the blessing of Yoruba land. Obasanjo is not a Yoruba man. MK Abiola that died, that's a Yoruba man. It was him it was what belonged to him that they gave to Obasanjo. That do you know that Obasanjo is not Yoruba? His father is Igbo. From
what? Oh my goodness.
From where? From Anambra. They have
Anambra, I know. That's what they will say.
Even
yes.
There's this obsession of this Yoruba Ronukus about Anambra, even before Obi. So for Obi to now put up posters saying he won't be president, it just triggered their PTSD. Older people telling stories to younger people because of politics. They said Obasanjo's father is Igbo, and there are Yorubas that will tell you it's true now. It's true. Older people, that's when you will know the generations they destroyed in Nigeria using this type of political, tribal narratives. The majority of people who kind of follow them subconsciously, they are not even aware the idea or agenda behind all these narratives.
Wow.
It's so deep. It's so deep. They will call me Igbo. They will call me hip-hop. They've called me many things. But because I am a Yoruba man, and I know their oriki, I know their story. Here you get now. They will rather try to avoid people like me. And there are many like me. We just want enough to speak out all the time. So that people will not
they will use tribe and separate us. When we ask, okay, since we are this, let's go to our tribe. They will say, no, you must be one Nigeria. Do you understand how they are trying to make us look stupid? I was talking to a friend. I was talking to a guy today. This guy, he's called Lagosian. His father is Lagosian. His mother is Lagosian. And I said to him, my parents are Igbo, but I was born in Lagos. I studied in Lagos. I did everything in Lagos. I grew up in Lagos for at least 20, 25 years of my life in Lagos. Will you now tell me that I'm not a Lagosian? I asked him. He said, no, I'm not a Lagosian. I said, okay, what can qualify someone a Lagosian? He said, my father and mother must be from Lagos. And I said, this thing that you are saying is only in the minds of those that don't understand what unity is that will say this.
Because Nigeria is not real. Now, that is where people will need to understand, okay? In Nigeria, they say we are one Nigerians, okay? We are all one.
Yes.
And therefore, all as Nigerian, you are free to live and do your business anywhere without any hindrance. But in practice,
exactly.
Is that not true? In practice, is it true?
It's not true. It's not true. It's not true.
That is why normally, right? The same person that you asked that I was born in Lagos, I was raised in Lagos, I'm a Nigerian, right? And I am supposed to be a Lagosian too, right? He said, no. You must be Yoruba. Guess what? They are proud whenever their family members send them images that they are now Americans. because they were born in America.
Can you imagine that?
Their aunties and their sisters, their brothers, who left
Can you imagine that?
15 years ago, they are now Americans. They are now British. Guess what? Their children, they are now carrying the British passports. They are now carrying American passport. Us, just because they were born there. The same set of people in Nigeria will tell you, no, we are tribal people. Let everybody go back to. So why don't you just let us break up this contraption and stop all this lies?
Exactly.
Please.
Exactly. And if they want it to be something tribal, okay, let the Hausas bring up their best candidates. Let the Igbos bring up their best candidates. Let the Yoruba let them go for debate and let's see who Nigeria. And I can bet my life that the Yorubas, who I know very well, all my friends are Yorubas, we never bring Tinubu out. We never bring Tinubu out.
You know? But the impression we are getting out now is that Yorubas are like Agberu. Yorubas are tribalists. Yorubas are like...
No!
Yorubas are this...
No, it's not true. It's not true.
Now, they want to make it more like we now have to convince the world. No, we are not. No, we won't do that. We won't do that. Tinubu is not going to be there forever.
If they are tribal, if Yorubas are tribal, why do they allow their governor, who is not from Lagos, who is from Osun State? What's his name again? This one, the current governor. Yes? Why is he their current governor?
Lagos, right? They would have...
Yes.
Yeah, you know what would have happened. That's why we are like, Lagos is not Yoruba land. When I say Lagos is not Yoruba, I mean, being in Lagos doesn't mean you are you've known Yoruba land. I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much, though.
Thank you very much.
God bless
you. Thank you. And you too.
We will draw the curtain, right? I hope I would have early show tomorrow where we can have our usual double dosage, okay? The afternoon brunch time and the prime time, which is the normal evening time. But there's also something I need to tell us, okay? I am going to be away from Wednesday to Friday. Yeah, family engagement and all of that. So we are traveling out of this place, okay? But however, I just thought I should say it ahead of time, okay? If all things being equal, maybe Friday I'll be back. But from tomorrow, listen, we will need to begin to put more awareness, okay, show more awareness on our upcoming Yoruba Summit. So from tomorrow, you are going to be seeing the link, the Eventbrite link to book your place, buy the tickets, support the union, and then join us and be part of us from the 23rd of August to the 25th of August. Okay, our plan is to take all these out of here and go physical, and so that whatever we need to actually really do a plan, we can have personnel who can do them. You can be that personnel. Join us. And if you are recruited by the Nigeria system, we will convert you. No, don't worry. Let them recruit you. Join us. We will convert you or turn you over, and then you can become a double agent. I'm just saying, because that's what we're going to do. We have nothing to hide or anything in secret, so to say. So you join us. Bring your ideas. Take place, take your own position and be part of what we are cooking. You're going to know more about that later, though. Now, thank you so much, everyone. Yomi Totu and others who are my super chatters, right? Thank you. I'm going to see you again tomorrow, God willing. Enjoy the rest of your night, your evening, and good night to you all.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ ọ́ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Ayíǹde #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ ọ́. kámọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Máyégún Diary náà ibi nọ́mbà 1. Máyégún ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Máyégún Diary náà ibi nọ́mbà 1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Máyégún Diary náà ibi nọ́mbà 1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí. Máyégún Diary náà ibi nọ́mbà 1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún Diary náà ibi nọ́mbà 1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí. Máyégún Diary náà ibi nọ́mbà 1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún Diary náà ibi nọ́mbà 1. Máyégún Diary politico. Máyégún Diary náà ibi nọ́mbà 1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún. Máyégún Diary náà ibi nọ́mbà 1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Máyégún Diary náà ibi nọ́mbà 1. Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Máyégún Diary náà ibi nọ́mbà 1. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Ayé. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni.
mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù máyé ègún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì máyé ègún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
máyé ègún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì máyé ègún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.